Control plane. You know you're still live, right? Yeah, it shows live next to your name. Oh, you're playing the Outer Worlds, aren't you? Oh no, Doom. Oh, Marauder. Oh, okay. A lot of these games got like same named enemies. Oh, okay. So, who we missing? No, I just randomly do it. Where's this? When was this? Yeah. Yeah. Because that's dev input, that's why. Yeah. All right, we going live. Hold on. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Why isn't my mic muted? It's alright. They got. Oh man, but doesn't matter. Let's go. There we go. What's up, everybody? It is the best spot, Kid Smooth. Welcome to another episode of Playing Xbox. This is episode 58. Unless you're an original follower, this is like 200 something. But good week. I am your host, Kid Smooth. What's up to the panel? Let's start with Swans, man. How you doing?
Yo, man, I'm doing really good. Just gaming, enjoying everything. Really excited to get into the topics today. Loving the FPS boost games on Xbox, you dig? Just been gaming a lot, buying a lot of games. I know that's kind of unheard of for Xbox gamers apparently, but I mean, I've been stacking bread, and copping these games, getting these controllers. Got that electric vault, waiting for that red camo, you dig? So, you know.
Gotcha. Oh, you got how is it? You got the electric one. That's the yellowish green. What color is it?
Yeah, it's kind of like lime green. It's kind of like lime neon green. It's dope. It's dope though. But they're getting done. Like this is the last of the solid colors they said, and then they come in with the camo, and I don't know what else they're coming with. So, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Chris Righteous. How are you doing? Yeah.
Yo, shit, man, I'm just chilling. What's up? Playing the Xbox. My bad, I was a little bit late, but nah, man, I'm doing good, man. How y'all doing?
What's up? I don't think you were late. I think you were actually the third one in, right? If I'm not mistaken.
That was a late one.
Shout out to Chris and old man Logan. What's up?
What's up, everybody? Playing an Xbox. Welcome. Ready to talk about tons of games. That definitely stuff's going to be coming out, and good things looking for the FPS boost with Xbox there. That's awesome. Hooray for game preservation. And yeah, let's just get to it.
Absolutely. And we got Dopest Jay, Coke Boy Jay.
What's good, guys? I've been playing, last night I was playing Returnal. I got a new microphone for my setup, so hopefully I sound a bit more clear on this one. And yeah, let's get into this podcast. We have a lot to talk about in regards to the Xbox news. There's been a lot happening, so yeah.
Absolutely, bro. So, yeah, a lot happened this week. A lot. I mean, nothing major, but a lot happened this week. So a lot of talking points. We got this Epic versus Apple case that's just bringing up some interesting emails and transactions taking place. Some people getting exposed. We got obviously this new Discord U-turn that we're gonna cover up a little bit. Some new games coming out, some surprising releases, and of course FPS boost kind of like taking everything by storm. But before we get into all that, I just want to know what is everybody playing?
I'll go first. So I've been playing. I've been clearing out my backlog a little bit. So I beat Recore, which was I beat Recore literally the day before they did the FPS boost for it. And
painful.
It was painful, but I mean, I still enjoyed the game. My only issue with the game was that last. I don't know who's all played Recore and beat it, but that last level was a little too tedious for my taste. Like I don't know the whole 5 floors of just like the same shit over and over and over.
5 floors of death, yeah.
The guy, it was terrible. But like the rest of the game, I really enjoyed. I like the combat. I like the world exploring, and I played that. I finished Nier Automata. I beat that one, and I started another playthrough as 9S because I wanted to get I didn't realize that there was a whole different side of the game that you could do, and so that was really cool to be able to see like stuff from a different perspective, like through the game. And then I waited a little bit to play Returnal because I saw there was tons of people having issues with crashing or whatever. So I wanted to wait for like a patch or two before I jumped in. And so I've been playing that lately the past couple days. And definitely pumped for Resident Evil 8 on Friday, and then Mass Effect Legendary Edition next week.
Okay, that's what's up. And Swans, what about you? You've been in and out different games. I seen you dipping in.
Yeah, no, I dipped into a few of the FPS boost titles. The Metro games at 60 felt really good. I was enjoying that. I hopped into Recore for a little bit, like the 60 frames on that, pretty cool. I've already beat them, but it was just like I just wanted to see how they felt. I'm gonna hop in some other ones, but those are definitely really cool. I bought Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, so I'm
Nice.
again. Yeah, so that has like a whole.
You bought that?
Because
I bought that as well.
I beat the regular version,
Yep.
and then I was like, then I wanted to beat it again because it has all the enhancements and it has the 120 mode. So I was like, bet I'll just play it again. Like, it's an easy beat though; it's not that long. So it's like the shit is pretty short. So I'm gonna beat that. I got the Mortal Kombat 11 with all of its extra stuff. So I was just like, I'm gonna play through this and enjoy that. The fighting is pretty good as I expected. It's Mortal Kombat, dope shit. I just bought Mass Effect Legendary Edition, you dig? So I'm ready for that. Let's go. Resident Evil Village, let's go. Like, I don't know, like I just been buying games, bro. Like there's some other games that I was looking at in the store. Hold up. Like not to jump all off task, but there were some titles that were coming soon that I was looking at in the store. There's a drink called Skate City that that looks kind of interesting. There's what the hell is that game? The Hired Gun, the Necromunda, whatever.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, set in the Warhammer jump. Like I'm actually looking to cop that. I may get that. I don't know yet. The Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2, I may get that. I played the first one, really liked it. But yeah, the Tales of Arise jump. I don't know what comes with the Ultimate Edition or the Deluxe Edition, but they have them up here, so I'm just kind of waiting to get some clarification on that. And the Deluxe Edition for Scarlet Nexus, waiting to cop that to see what's actually in that before I actually make a purchase. But yeah, just been playing a lot of games. I'm still working my way through the Control Ultimate Edition. Really fun. I'm loving the expansions. And I tried out Dragon Quest Builders 2. Pretty fun game. It's cool. I'll give it that. Like, it's cool. Like I'm enjoying what I'm playing. Like, I didn't know that it was like that per se, because I saw the gameplay on the Switch at first, if I recall. But once I got here and I got my hands on it, there's just a lot of dialogue in the beginning. Like, you're on this fucking boat and like the skeleton is just talking. Like, he's talking, and I'm just like, wow, this is a lot. Like, shut up and just let me get to the game. So it was like, this is the first time where I felt like the talking was too much, where I'm just like, dog, like, if you about to talk here, like, then you shouldn't have like pauses in between these jumps. You should just keep going until you're completely done. But other than that, like, just playing a little bit of Outriders. Outriders is still on and off for me. Like, I'm hopping in, hopping out. I'm like, eh. But other than that, like, yeah, games, bro. Like,
just keep in mind, for anybody that's interested in Mass Effect or Resident Evil 8,
Yep.
They do have the 6,000 reward points if you're buying them on the digital store for those. So
Absolutely.
I just want to throw that out there again because I know they updated Mass Effect Legendary Edition for this week.
Yeah, Chris, what you playing right now? I mean, I could guess one of them, but
I'm still running through Near Replicant. I would have had that beat, but obviously Returnal came out Friday, and that has been taking most of my time. Returnal. So, and I'm tell you straight, I love the game. I love the game a lot. At first I was like, when I was first playing, like the first biome, the first two biomes, I was like, okay, this is cool. I wasn't really like, I was liking it. I wasn't in love with it. It wasn't until like I got to the third biome when things opened up and more gameplay mechanics started being introduced, and that's when I just fuck it. I'm in the fifth biome right now. There's like 6 biomes. I'm in the fifth one right now. But
okay.
Other than that, I've been playing the game a lot. I've been leaving on rest mode, turning it on, and everything like that. And to be honest with you, I haven't had not one single crash on the game. The only issues that I had on the game is the DLC suit bugs. Because if you have like, there's some type of weird ass bug, or if you put on the pre-order suit that you get from pre-ordering the game, sometimes it will lock you out, or in a room it won't let you leave out the door. So then you got to restart the cycle and blah blah blah, which sucks. Housemarque definitely needs to jump on that. They definitely need to jump on what's going on. Sony definitely needs to jump on what's going on in the crashes and shit like that. Because other games, it wouldn't be such a big deal if it wasn't for a game like this where you die and you lose like a lot of your equipments and stuff like that. But a lot of people, there's a lot of misconception about the game. The game does a very good job of after you beat the biome, you don't have to go run through the biome again. I mean, you can skip it and go to the biome that you're at currently, and then right in the beginning it sets you up with a couple items to get you caught up for the the next biome or whatever. And then as far as like like saving and stuff like that, there's like an astronaut figurine artifacts that can revive you if you die. There's also a reconstruction chamber that it costs ether, which is like one of the rare currencies of the game. But I suggest anybody who starts the game save that shit up and get in that reconstruction chamber, because if you die, once you activate it and you die, you get resurrected back to that reconstruction chamber and you keep all of your shit. So there's certain things that the game does to kind of mitigate you keep starting, but it is procedurally generated, so a lot of the rooms get moved around and stuff like that. Sometimes you see new rooms. I know that Hunter guy on Twitter, he says he's beat it a couple of times. He's been playing for 60+ hours, and in the first biome, he's still seeing new shit. So
how long is this game?
It depends on your skill, man.
I would say
some people can beat it around 20 hours, 18 to 20. I seen people beat it around 18 to 20 hours. Some people will take 30 to 40 hours and shit like that. Right now, I'll say about like 25 hours in the game right now, and I still got one more biome to go.
Yeah.
So it's but the thing is even after you beat the game, there's still like more shit to see. Like there's a lot of content in this game as far as like you're seeing new stuff. The weapons feel amazing. It feels like
so you gonna play through it again another time, or are you just gonna leave it?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep playing. Well, there's like secret endings and shit like that. So I'm gonna keep playing it again. But it feels next generation because Sony with the PlayStation 5, the three things that they harped on, right? It wasn't T-flops, it wasn't CPU counts or whatever. The three things I always talked about was the SSD I/O, the 3D audio, and the DualSense. And this game does all three. Like the way the level designs between
the DualSense. Oh my god.
Yeah, the DualSense is fucking phenomenal with each weapon's feels completely different. It feels great. The sound is absolutely amazing, especially if you have the right 3D audio setup. With the sound, and then the way the level designs and how you move in between the world is like no loading at all. Like no loading. You'll go into different portals and shit like that to get to other levels, and it'll completely load the world up in like a second. So me personally, I'm loving it. It's not a game for everybody though. A lot of people are not gonna like this game. I'm gonna be straight up because it's a different type of game. It's a roguelike game. A lot of people are not used to these type of games unless you are in like the indie scenes and you play games like Hades, Dead Cells. Then you'll understand. But a lot of people are gonna have a hard time really learning the mechanics. It is challenging. Smooth, I can't wait for you to get the challenge because Smooth, I'm gonna be straight up with you. Knowing you're gonna fucking hate this game. You would not like this game at all. You would not like this game at all. So I can't wait to see that challenge because you're going to be raging like crazy. But yeah, man, personally, I love it. I know a lot of people that's been playing it really loves it as well. Some people don't like it. The issues as far as the crashes and the bugs and shit like that, there's no excuse. None, especially if you're going to be charging us more this generation for games. There's no excuse. They definitely should get that on the road. They could have like 2 patches. Like I said, like me personally, I haven't had no problems, but I know a lot of other people are having a lot of problems. As far as the DLC suit, all you got to do is go back to the regular suit, and then you won't have that problem no more. But yeah, I love it. So.
All right, okay. So, what were you just playing?
I started up Division 1 and I hopped back on Dying Light because of the FPS boosts on both those games. Even though I love Dying Light, I would always play that game, but the FPS boost on Series X just made it like everything for me. So I got back on that game, played the Division 1. I've been playing some Halo here and there. I've been playing a lot of Apex on Xbox as well. Been picking up that game. Xbox and PC, but mainly Xbox because I have a lot of friends that play the game on Xbox and I'd rather play on there versus playing with the cheaters on PC.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started up Returnal yesterday, getting my ass clapped by the first boss in the biome.
Which is an easy boss. But,
Yo, listen. I got too confident. I was watching him live. He did a few little tiny mistakes because
you gotta time your dodges.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be. The game is very skill based. That's what people
It
are not
is.
gonna understand. It's like how you progress in this game is gonna depend on your skill. And the whole thing was like you start. And another thing, not everything starts over. Like your weapon traits, because each weapon has the different.
Yeah, you pick that. You pick that back up.
That you unlock. Yeah, so whenever you pick that same weapon back up, it will have the trait unlock and whatever. So
Let me say this.
Yeah.
Returnal isn't a bad game. I like the game. Like, not even 30 minutes into the stream, that shit reset my whole fucking PS5. That was crazy. That was my only like bad experience with the game, where I'm literally live streaming the game, but I had to. My PS5 just restarted out of nowhere.
Nah.
That was wild.
crazy.
But let me say this. The sound design of the game is amazing. The visuals are amazing, except for that one scene I showed Chris where you're staring at your own reflection in the mirror. I thought that shit was a troll. That was real. Like, that was a real fucking thing in the game.
Yeah,
Other than that,
it
like,
made it look worse.
it's
Honestly,
a fun
like,
game. It's a fun fucking game.
I know people like said, well, that's just because of the reflection and the low res like textures and whatnot. But let me tell you what. Like,
Oh man, that wasn't low res. That was below low
her
res.
face just in game just looks off to me, and it's weird because the game is gorgeous. The game's beautiful. The game is colorful, vibrant, whatever. But her face has probably one of the worst facial features I've ever seen in a character model, and it's weird because in like the cutscene parts, she looks fucking awesome. Like her face, but it's just like the in-game textures on her face. It just looks like a rubber character.
Yeah.
No, because I don't
crazy.
know. Like I mean, was it an actress that they modeled this person off of, or did
Yeah,
they just
there was an
design
actress.
Yeah.
her? Like
You want to know why I think
She's
it
modeled
looks that
after
way? Is because of all these different upsampling techniques that they're doing just to get the game to 4K.
Yeah,
Like
they
they did the
Yeah.
upsampling from 1080p to 1440p.
That shit is
And then the
beautiful.
checkerboarding from 1440p
Yeah.
to 4K. So some things might look a little off inside the game, but overall, I
Some
think the
things,
game looks visually good.
Oh yeah.
And it plays well.
I would say, yeah, her face is a little bit off. I definitely agree with Old Man, and also some of the ground, the ground textures, as far as like not the grass, but like the
Like when
actual,
you're in like the first person
ground-
view, I would say
ground-
like
yeah,
like that
that's-
stuff looks
that's
because
one that-
usually like third person games they don't like look good in first person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's just always been a thing, and it's just weird. Like you get in these first person, and like when you're in the segment where you're in the house and stuff, looks amazing. But when you get thrown outside the house and you're laying on the ground, you're looking at the grass, those textures on the floor up close don't look very good.
But the game has a lot, like especially when like in later levels, like there is so many particles on the screen, like it is ridiculous.
Yeah,
It's
the
just,
particle effects are really, really good in that game in particular. When you kill an enemy and they drop whatever it is that they drop, those effects are pretty nice, especially when you kill them and they just like disintegrate. Now I don't like the way that the game was marketed as a 4K game, even though it's not truly 4K. So that's one of my issues with it. But overall, I would give it so far, because I'm only like 2 hours into the game. So far, a 7 out of 10. But I will evaluate it even further once I complete the game.
You shouldn't even put a score on it at that point.
You give reviews before beating the game.
Yeah. I'm trolling. I'm a gaming journalist. I'm a gaming journalist.
That's how we're doing it. Dude,
I'm like these guys on
Be
Metacritic.
done yet?
I've been playing. There's a couple games I've been rotating to, but I started like after I finished Mirror's Edge last week. Because I finished Mirror's Edge last week, Catalyst, because people like to joke on me that, I'm hyping all these FPS boost games and I don't play them. But actually, I played through a fair amount of them. But I finished Mirror's Edge Catalyst last week, but I think we discussed that last week. I then started Judgment, which is a beautiful game. And it's interesting. I'm actually digging the story. I have not fallen asleep. I've fallen asleep on like a dragon before, and I've fallen asleep on like Yakuza like 5 or 0, one of them, right? But I did not fall asleep on like my startup to Judgment, and I'm kind of digging it. So that's in rotation. I also, took a serious jab at Assassin's Creed Unity, and I hate to this is gonna be like the first traditional Assassin's Creed game that I'll finish. Like I'm trying to think of any of the earlier original.
Did you play 3?
3, no, I did not.
2?
Nope, I think I just did the first one.
2 is great.
I loved.
I went from that one, and then I did like I played, but I didn't beat like Black Flags and Syndicate.
Yeah.
I think I got a decent amount in Syndicate, but I just never finished it. And
You know what's funny? I got Unity with my Xbox One. That was the bundle I got.
I remember that bundle. And then you can find like Unity on CD Keys back then for like $5 because like people were selling the codes because that's back when the game was in bad shape. But you know, Unity obviously, you know, it's 60 frames now, and it's I learned to appreciate the game. It's 900p, but graphically it's a good looking game. And it's a good story. I am digging the story so far. So that game's in rotation along with Judgment. I did give Anthem a try. I'm not sure how long I'll stick with it. If I can find, you know, somebody that's still playing it to, you know, run. I'm pretty sure the base campaign is not too long. So I might run through that just to at least get through the base campaign. I don't know what they did for the game in game afterwards. I'm not sure if they did anything with it, but I want to get through the base game of that. And I booted up the Division 1 because a lot of people forgot that game.
That felt amazing.
The good thing about that is that one is Xbox One X enhanced, so it's 4K, and now it's 4K and 60, so it's on par with the Division 2 for like at least quality wise. And some people argue that Division 1 is better. So I've never finished the original Division game, so I might do that.
I'd say, but
and then. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I beaten years ago, but I never did the DLC. So now I have a reason to go back and chomp through all the DLCs that came out. But I don't know what I'm going to stick with. Like I tried a couple of games. I don't know what I'm going to stick with. Judgment is typically longer, so I might chew through the shorter games or games where I can just clean up achievements and whatnot, and then go off to Judgment. But then it's just so much going on. Like isn't Valhalla's expansion? The first expansion is coming like soon, and I'm going to want to dive into that when it releases. But yeah, just a lot. Just been gaming a lot. Still playing MLB The Show. Still getting my ass whipped, and yeah, man. I can't complain too much. But what else? So first, before we break into some of the stuff, we're gonna give a shout out to everybody in the chat. I see Blessed Red in there. I see I see a lot of deleted messages. I wonder what that's for.
Oh, we got Yoku, Kurama. He's a regular. TGK. We got Jay Medina, or AKA Meds.
Meds. Yep.
What else we got in here? Xcoin. I don't know.
Can we get some more likes?
No, he's cool. Shit, he was here last time.
Alright, Xcoin, what's good, bro?
But can we get some more likes?
Shout out to everybody. Yeah, you guys got to hit the like button. We got 88 people on site right now.
All right, so what we got up first? What should we tackle
Game
first
Pass.
this busy week? Game Pass. So the Game Pass drops. Okay, so let me see. We got the thing about Game Pass. They drop in twos, right? They give you something at the start of the week, and then or the start of the month, and they give you something at the end of the month, and then there's some like surprises that just kind of get randomly dropped. So on May 3rd, Major Nelson tweeted out the Game Pass for the early half of May, which includes games such as Just Cause 4 Reloaded, Outlast 2, Psychonauts, Red Dead Online, which is the multiplayer portion of the game, Steep, FIFA 21, which is coming out on May 6th, which is tomorrow, which is my birthday. So we got Dragon Quest Builders 2. Now that's available now, right? Or is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Dragon Quest Builders 2. Wow, that's okay. So Square Enix wasn't playing. Final Fantasy 10, 10-2.
10-2.
Yeah, in 10-2, yeah.
I'm gonna play that.
Remastered, and Remnant from the Ashes is going into the PC Game Pass. I think this one's already in console. If I'm not, I remember it being in there at once. I don't know. If
it was. I think they might have removed it though. But.
Yeah. So and then like, we got some perks going on. That some Game Pass quests. We had some. There was people thought a bunch of Star Wars games were gonna go into Game Pass. The truth is, by default, all the Star Wars games that are available so far are in Game Pass. because of like EA Play. All they did was get like a May the 4th banner page in Game Pass at that point. But there was like a Jedi Fallen Order quest. I think that's still going. That you can earn some points. I don't know if you shouted this out, old man. They added a new game for the Microsoft Rewards. Last week it was Resident Evil and Nier Replicant, right? What was the newest game added?
It was Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So
yep, just copped it.
Yeah, I was gonna cop it because of those points, but my game share partner, Gaming Addict, have done it already, so I couldn't claim those. So I had to claim the Resident Evil one. So the thing, Mass Effect, that's not the only thing about Mass Effect. This game is not going to be in Game Pass, is it? At least not now.
No,
I know eventually.
Definitely not for like right off the bat, because you have the whole trilogy for the 360 in Game Pass.
Yeah, that's in there. Yeah.
Now,
so for anybody thinking that like this is gonna, I mean, if you really want to play Mass Effect, you already have the ability.
Yeah, like
to
you got
play
two
it.
options.
Yeah,
at least like you got two options.
I mean, obviously,
which I highly recommend anybody to play Mass Effect.
Absolutely.
My favorite series.
Well, the reason you'd be playing,
the best place to play that too.
Yeah, which is what we're going to get into. So not only that, so Mass Effect, they drop its. I like these when publishers come out and post their little spec sheet for these next gen consoles. Like how games have to come out and do their recommended settings or their minimum settings for PC. They now have to do this shit for consoles, but they just give you the options that are there. And so I do appreciate that. So the findings on Mass Effect, and I don't know if I should be surprised. I'm sick and tired of acting like I'm surprised, but I still get surprised. I don't know why, but so the interesting concept. I'm going to open up the list and kind of go over that if I can. So the PlayStation version, PS5, you're getting all modes is running at 60 frames per second, right? They got resolution mode, which is targeting 4K at 60 frames per second, and they got performance mode, which is 1440p at 60 frames per second. Honestly, the performance mode option is pointless. I think these performance mode was really more so targeting the Xbox One X, PS4 Pro stuff, and obviously just naturally the next gen consoles, due to backwards compatibility, was going to be able to leverage that. So those modes, the reason why you have the separation there is because of last gen. But things get interesting when you get over to the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S portion. So the Xbox Series S, you are getting, which is strange, the Xbox Series S and the Series X are pretty much the same thing. Up to, you get in 4K resolution at 30 frames per second on both Series S and One X. 4K, 30 frames per second on Series S and One X. So you're getting the same pretty much game. If you got One X, you got a Series S, same thing. Same for performance mode, 1440p at 60 frames per second for One X and Series S. So the Series S is doing its job, 1440p, 60 frames per second. However, on the Xbox Series X side, you have in its resolution mode, 60 frames at 4K, and in this performance mode, you actually get a performance mode higher than the standard performance at 120 frames per second, 1440p. Thoughts? For a Mass Effect game, this is 3 games, big ass RPGs. Open world RPGs.
Can you take your W really quick, because you did claim that Xbox is gonna have more 120 frames per second games on the system
put
before
that
launch.
crown on, bro.
Yeah,
so that's a W for you.
It is a W that I am proud of. It's one of the W's I don't get credit for, but I appreciate you, Coke Boy, Swans, and stuff for reminding me of that. And there's a story about this. A lot of people like to talk about this. Xbox specializes in old games and stuff like that. And what happened was, what Xbox did, I never understood this. And I remember when the update came out. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember or if you're paying attention to it, but you remember when the Xbox One X got like an update to support 120 hertz?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And I remember buying monitors and hooking it up. I was like, I don't know why it's here because there's not a single game running at 120 frames on the Xbox One X. And I think the only game you could actually get to do that was, I think, one of the Rainbow Six games. When you what did you have to do? You had to turn off the cap or something like that, and it could go above 60 frames per second. So I'm like, why is this here? Like, and I remember the CH1, the monitor you got.
The Samsung one.
Yeah, the Samsung. I had that monitor. That was one of the first monitors. I think one of the first major monitors I reviewed and stuff. That video got like a ton of views and shit like that. So I hooked the Xbox One X to it. I did the 120. I'm like, oh shit, this is crazy. But I was like, there's no games to take advantage of it. So, and I sat back and I was like, I don't understand why they would do that. And now that I'm thinking, now it actually makes freaking sense. The 100, even though it was placed in the Xbox One X, it was never put there for the Xbox One X to take advantage of. It was always there for the console afterwards. And that's because what they did is people wondering, well, why is all these backwards compatible games get a 120 frames option on Xbox but not PlayStation? PlayStation 4 Pro is capped at what? 60 hertz, right? It doesn't have the option to do it. Its resolution is, for the most, they have those strange resolutions. Xbox gets 120 hertz because the game literally thinks it's running on the Xbox One X at 120 hertz because it has that option in the system, even though it can't be played at 120 hertz on the Xbox One X. But it's on the Series X and it has enough power so it can. Like, that is mind-blowing to me. That is absolutely mind-blowing. So think about this, right? And we're gonna get these more, like, for example, I won't be surprised if Biomutant fucking can hit 120 frames per second, because Biomutant is not a next-gen game. It's literally, as long as it has an Xbox One X enhancement that is targeting higher frame rate, it could potentially do that. Any game that has these modes, these split modes or they have these Xbox One X enhancements and they can tap into the more power, like any of these backwards or cross-gen games could effectively hit those marks because of them adding that option to the Xbox One X. And I don't think nobody has caught up onto it.
Now you are very correct, because Tom Warren tweeted that that it's harder to pick games at 120 frames per second on PS5 than Xbox. And there's a Rocket League developer that said that enabling 120 hertz on Series X/Series S is a minor patch, but enabling it on PS5 requires a full native port due to how backwards compatibility is implemented on the console. So you are correct in that they've established this with the previous system, so it's just as easy as flipping on the Switch and enabling it on the Series X because of how they've established backwards compatibility from the Xbox One, the One X, and now the Series X/Series S.
That's crazy. That's freaking insane. That, like, how do you do? I mean, they're Microsoft. They're much smarter than I. But it's just crazy. That's future thinking, because that update was within the first year of the Xbox One X being out. So it's like the fact that they did that, but it was a update that wouldn't benefit the Xbox One X, but the console after. It's just so freaking weird. It's sick. It is sick. Shout out to Emmanuel A1, $5. He said, "What up, Smooth and Planet Xbox? We got 100 mother effing FPS boost games on Xbox Series S and X. We stay winning gaming on Xbox muscle." Shout out to Raiden Blade. Welcome to the Best Bot Basic. You are now a channel member. I appreciate it, man. I promise. Matter of fact, I'll do more for my channel members. I'll be better. I'll think of something. Post something, and we'll think of something to do. Shout out to Raiden Blade with the super chat. He says, "Happy birthday, Smooth. Appreciate it. We're one day early." All right. So, anybody else got thoughts on the Mass Effect, this remaster and its performance across these consoles, and any thoughts or care to elaborate on any of those?
Nah, I'm not picking up Mass Effect. I probably won't to like a long time from now, at least the trilogy.
Damn. Like, was there any reason why, or you just had like a lot of games to get through?
Yeah.
The
timing that because I enjoyed Mass Effect 1, 2. I've only played a little bit of 3. I haven't beat 3, so I definitely want to finish that. But it's just the timing, man. A bunch of fucking games coming out.
Yeah, it
came
is.
out the next week. Returnal came out. This week, Resident Evil 8 is coming out.
Yes.
I'm probably not even gonna pick that up because, it's just. And then we were supposed to get Deathloop, but that got pushed back. And then next month, Ratchet and Final Fantasy 7 Integrate, and then it's just like I can't get all these games day one. Like I can't.
Yeah, it's too
expensive. No. It's understandable.
I don't have
it's very
time.
understandable.
Yeah. So
I
gotta pick and choose priority.
With your situation and everything, still glad that you're doing well and everything, and you got to prioritize, and that's with like anybody in any type of situation. Like nobody should be trying to make fun of anybody not being able to purchase something, or fucking taking time out to focus on their personal life.
I can purchase Mass Effect.
I'm just saying. This is like different situations and stuff.
You don't want to let it sit. Let the game sit
exactly.
for a reason.
I'm not gonna buy all these games right now, and then there's some I'm not gonna get because there's gonna be priorities. Because if I'm not finished with the trilogy by the time Ratchet and Clank comes out, then I'm
may forget it. Or
because when I'm playing a game, usually I like to play a game all the way through. And then jump on to the next game. I usually don't like to play multiple games at once. This is the one time where I'm doing it with Nier and Returnal because they came a week apart from each other. And then now that Returnal comes out, I've kind of put down Nier, but then I want to go. I don't like doing that. But the Returnal hype, got to me, so I started to play it. Then I just got addicted to it, and I just can't stop playing it. So. Yeah, I like to take my time with like each game as far as like one by one. I don't like to play like 5 different games because then I don't finish them if I do it like that.
No. I was just saying, just for like people's pockets and everybody, nobody should be pocket watching or situation watching and just trying to dictate what is acceptable and what's not. Like, see, I have kind of like a ADHD type thing, so I'm kind of scatterbrained at that. So it's like I'll hop from game to game, and it's sometimes just like with what was the game from the 360 that everyone just played apparently, the war game, I forgot.
Spec Ops The Line.
Yeah, Spec Ops.
Yeah.
See, I'll go back and play old games.
Yeah.
So see, this is like, even if a game is like super old, I'll go back and beat it if I haven't beat it. So this is like, even if I have like a bunch of backlog games, I know that I'm gonna go back and beat them. The only game I know I'm never gonna go back to is Lords of the Fallen. So that game is just in my collection. Like, I hate seeing it, but it's just there. Like, no, I'm never gonna go back and play that. But everything else, like, I'm gonna go back eventually and get to it. But yeah.
Awesome. Oh man, and your thoughts on Mass Effect?
No, I'm just pumped to play Mass Effect. I mean, that's really all I gotta say. It's just Mass Effect's one of my all-time favorite trilogies that came out last gen. So I'm excited for a whole new generation of gamers to get their hands on it. And obviously, the best place to play it's going to be Xbox.
Yeah.
So that's always a positive.
Yeah.
I mean, but like you said, that's just because Xbox was very forward thinking with the Xbox One X, and you got the PS5 version is just running the PS4.
Yeah, nothing wrong with 60 frames per second.
It's just how the systems are set up.
Yeah,
now, obviously, the PS5 should be able to do that. I mean, it should be able to do that, whether they actually do a patch for it or not. I mean,
hey man, the tools aren't ready.
But like, I mean, the system should be able to do that. Or shouldn't be any issue.
They don't have the tools.
No,
apparently.
the PS5 definitely capable of running like a lot of these games, a lot of these older backwards compatible games. It could definitely run them at 120. But
it's just the way that the system structure is.
Set up.
With, the last
it's very
different.
From the PS4.
It's vastly different.
So to the point to where it's like if developers want to do that, they have to literally go in and like remake
a PS
and whatever.
Make a whole
and then
exactly.
Microsoft did it to where it's like, I don't know how they did it, but they did it to where it's like it's just like it just was like a quick switch unlock or whatever.
Microsoft they're a software company, so they made it work.
So that's kind of crazy. The shit about the Mass Effect version. So there's no 120 version for the S, right?
No.
Not right now.
Okay,
No.
all right. Because I was just like, I mean, I would like to play it in 120, but I mean, 60's fine. I'm just really hyped to play Mass Effect 1
Oh yeah, with all the quality of life upgrades, yeah.
Yeah, she just like one is like a highlight for me.
When is that
That's
game
my favorite
dropping?
for me?
Yeah,
So-
isn't it like
next
next
Friday.
week? Yeah, next week.
I'll try that.
Yeah.
Or I might look to pick it up because I'm gonna be honest, with you, I never played the Mass Effect game, so yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
dude, Mass
man.
Effect 1 was
Yes.
amazing with the
So
story
amazing.
and RPG elements and stuff.
Yes.
Mass Effect 2 was like I enjoyed Mass Effect 2 a little bit more just because the gameplay was a lot smoother.
Yeah.
But they took a lot of the, which is going to be like everyone's going to get spoiled playing these games on the new systems because my
Oh,
God,
yeah.
Mass Effect 1, I would recommend anybody that's never played Mass Effect to dig into the remaster collection and then go back and try to play what we played it on the 360.
Mhm.
And just the difference between how those games are going to work is just crazy.
Have you tried it? Have you tried one? Have you went back and tried to play one?
Dude, I played. I think I replayed it like a couple years ago, and it runs so like I even played it on the Xbox One, like the Xbox One, not
Mhm.
even a 360, and it runs rough. It definitely was a little bit ahead of its time for when it came out. So to see that baby all in 60 frames and updated to like the gameplay, I think is more Mass Effect 2-esque than it is Mass Effect 1.
Yeah, for sure. Like the
So
updates.
that's going to be like I love Mass Effect 2's gameplay and combat. So for them to put that more into Mass Effect 1, it's just going to be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, like I was never really like a huge fan of the combat in Mass Effect, but it was just the story and with especially
But
with one
like just like
with Saren and everything, like that was
Yeah.
a really good just like escalation. Like it felt proper, like the escalation. Then when it got to 2, like it just felt like it ramped up to where it just got out of hand, and in 3 I was just like, all right, well,
yeah, 3 was definitely like 3 is probably the weakest of the entries, but definitely 1 and 2 are phenomenal games.
yeah, very great stories.
All right, so cool. So Mass Effect. I mean, I've never beaten a Mass Effect. I'll tell you that. Like, I think I've attempted one. I attempted Mass Effect 1, and the
time
next
to
one I
shine.
tried was Andromeda, and that was through EA Access. and never bought it.
Oh, that was a disaster.
No, hey,
Story wise,
Yeah, the story was
Andromeda didn't really have the characters in the story
Mhm.
as far as like the other Mass Effect. Gameplay
Yeah,
was good.
But it
it's
had
hard.
really
It's
good
hard to
gameplay.
go and like have this
The launch was
huge
rough, though.
universe.
Yeah.
Like it's very challenging to have like this huge, well-known universe, and then kind of just reset it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was where the game struggled at the most, was trying to get you, like you trying to care about
Invested.
these characters.
Yeah.
Where like the first Mass Effect and the second one, you were invested. You spent
Mhm.
years playing these
Shepherd
characters,
and all
developing
that stuff, yeah.
relationships and stuff. So to go from that to what Andromeda was, and what Andromeda did was cool. Like it was definitely a good opener, but for it being like a Mass Effect game, it was hard to get into. And you can tell obviously by the fact that with the new Mass Effect, they're going back to they're bringing back the Mass Effect storyline because they know that that's what people care about, and that's what Andromeda's
Well, I mean,
highest
Shepard's
fault was.
story, yeah.
And
Oh, not Shepard. It was
Shepard.
Tiara, right? No, it wasn't
No,
Shepard.
Liara.
It was Liara, right? That's
Liara
right.
to Sony. It was like with Shepard's story, I think people got too attached, and so then when they jumped 500 years ahead into Andromeda,
Yeah,
it was
very
just
hard.
like they could have definitely just kind of like it didn't have to jump so far ahead. That's what I feel was the problem, but then also trying to get people to care about these characters who weren't written very enticingly. Like they just weren't like interesting at all. Like they felt very dull, lifeless, like passionless at some times. And even with some of their backstories, like you would get some of this information, but it would never connect like a Garrus did. Like it would never connect like a Rex did. So
I think it was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
good. No, good. No.
Oh, I just think it was hard for them to write that story because
Mm-hmm.
the way that they ended Mass Effect was meant to be a trilogy, and that was
Yeah,
it.
and that was it. Mhm.
So for them to be like, oh, by the way, here's another Mass Effect. The only way that they could have done that was to make a whole new story, and I think maybe they could have done things differently, like do like a prequel where you play as other characters and still stay in that same universe and keep like cameos and stuff. But the fact that they just gave, I mean, it was everybody's first appearance in that game. and then they just kind of, it was like you had to like learn all these people over again. You're like, why do I?
But
care
you
about
also
these
got to
people?
think about the Logan. You also got to think about how they ended 3. That was very disappointing for a lot of people. Ending the relays. So them saying, like, I guess this gives some kind of credence to them going 500 years into the future. Is like, because the relays were destroyed, it took them even more time to do this planetary exploration thing where they could go really far and shit like that. And where Andromeda took places that people had to be in cryo sleep to go. Where it was like with the original trilogy, you could just jump through the ring and you're there, like you're at the location that you want to be at. So it was like it made sense, but it just wasn't impactful as the trilogy was. And they said that they really didn't change anything shit about the ending to 3. So, however, this 4th Mass Effect is happening, and with Liara there, and you had Garrus there, like you had these aliens who could live like 1,000 years at the most, if I recall, for Liara's race, and I think Garrus's people could actually live a couple hundred as well, if I recall. I may be off, but this is like to have them there, and you see like I think it's Shepard's N7 armor piece and everything. Like, are they gonna bring him back? Are they gonna like you just don't know? But it's interesting.
I'm wondering if it's like gonna be like the search for Shepard.
I
don't think you're gonna be playing as Shepard. I think you're gonna be playing the characters trying to find Shepard because they need him need him, her, depending on
like they need his DNA or something. I don't know,
like for something.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm pumped for it. I hope BioWare can do good because I know BioWare went from being like one of the best developers out there to just kind of putting not well received titles out back to back with Anthem and with Mass Effect Andromeda. So yeah, I'm fingers crossed that this comes back because it's one of my most beloved series. So I just wanted to do good. Wanted to be great.
Shout out to NickBanks. You've made it. You there, Nick?
What's up, Nick?
Yo, what's good, y'all?
How you doing, man?
Yeah, a little late. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
It's all right.
We kind of work me late sometime. But what's good, man? What's going on?
No, we just talking about this random Xbox goodness. You try any of the just real quick, any game you playing this week?
Me and Dope Boy, we played Division 1.
Okay.
And I tried a little bit of Far Cry 5. Not too many. And Anthem, I downloaded. I seen you playing Anthem, so I was like, oh shoot, I never played Anthem. So I was, they the only one so far.
Okay.
I just dipped and dabbed a little bit here and there. You said you wanted to play through the Division, so even though I already beat it.
Yeah.
We said we was gonna wait for you, man.
All right, absolutely.
So,
shout out to Emmanuel A1. He member. He says, could you do a weekly 30-minute LTG podcast with Jack Move Johnny as an exclusive for the members? I would do something like that if Jack Move was down and didn't charge me. I'm sure that's possible, but that's a it takes two to tangle. Everybody been wanting to show with me and Jack Move for a long time, but I don't know, like two guys on the opposite end of the spectrum. We're two different type of dudes. I like Jack Move. I just don't know if it will work.
I think it'll work. Like Jack Move, like he been chilling. Like so I feel like, should you keep a cool head? He keep a cool head. Like y'all be good.
No, we get along. I'm just saying, I just don't know if it'll work. But we get along very well. I'm a easy with the $10 says corporation don't give a about us and I don't give a about them, but as much they want my money, I want the bang for my buck. And right now it's Microsoft who gives more for less convenience win mindshare. Shout out to Isma Easy. I feel like it's a simpler way to say that, and I'm just messing it up. But shouts out to you.
Smooth Destin was in the chat, so shout out to Destin. Thank you for coming through.
Destin,
showing love.
Destin Legary?
Yes, sir.
Oh, awesome. Because I've all right. So before we get on to the next topic, right? I put out a tweet and I reached out to Destin weeks ago. I just thought I struck while the iron was too hot, and I'm like, he ain't gonna freaking respond because I should have done this before he hit like this many subs or something like that. But I reached out to him a while ago. I didn't get a reply back, and then I put out a tweet because I was like, for this podcast, you know, I don't know where we're at, where we rank or how we're seen in the community compared to all of our peers podcasts. I was like, I've never have guests, not because I don't like to have guests, it's just we never have guests. I haven't gone out of my way to, you know, to reach out. In terms of like, I mean, the last guest we had was the Song of Iron dev, right?
Yeah, we did that interview.
We did that interview. So I was like, let me throw my shot again. See if I can get a response from Jeff Grubb, Miles Dampier, and Destin again, because I've been watching Destin's content over the past couple months, and he makes some intriguing videos that I've been watching. So I was like, maybe I'll try again. I haven't seen him all over everybody's podcast. Let me try him. Everybody's asking for Jeff Grubb. Everybody's asking for Miles. Let me ask for Destin. I think Destin's pretty cool. Maybe I can get that to work. And to my surprise, I get a respawn, a reply in DM. I'm like, holy shit, is this real or is this a spam? And it was him, and I was like, oh shit, let's make this work. So I'm working on getting Destin Legary from IGN on the podcast, Unlocked podcast. He obviously has his own channel called Destin, where he's been doing a whole lot of content, a lot of Xbox related content. So I got a whole ton of questions for him about that. So if I'm trying, and hopefully I can make it as soon as next week. I don't know how the format would be. You guys are used to seeing Destin in like video form. You guys know I'm open to do a podcast either video form or on like form like this. So whatever he's open to do. Once we nail down the date, I'll figure out how he wants to appear. And when it happens, I will let you guys know if it's going to happen, next week or the week after. But it's definitely going to happen. I'm definitely trying because I do want to improve the podcast, the channel, and who our reach. So that we are in the works. So shout out to Destin Legary. Thanks for showing up in the chat. Because I missed it.
So Smooth, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
So
What's good, Nick?
What's good on Swans? What's up with you? I just wanted to ask Smooth since we on the Jeff topic. I see you tweeted him, you added him on Twitter. He didn't respond to you?
Who, Jeff?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay. But Dustin did, huh?
Yeah.
All right. PlayStation.
Well, he responded after some time, though.
Yeah, he responded, but I think
you never know.
Did my tweet? Well, here's the thing. I don't have any issue with Jeff, but I do remember how I first ran into Jeff, though. And it wasn't on the best of terms.
Okay.
All right. Not because I thought he was. It wasn't because he did. Like, I think Jeff was the journalist that was struggling on Cuphead, I believe. Remember that video clip?
Was it him?
Yeah. It was.
What?
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna go to my DMs.
I thought it was a lady or like some dude.
Because he had me. Because Jeff, the reason why I had an issue with Jeff, he had one of my videos taken down before, and I was trying to figure out which video it was, and I believe it was the Cuphead video.
Damn, that's crazy.
Oh man, what's up with that dude, man?
No, but this is years ago. This is like 2017 or something like that. And so, the only reason why I remember is because when I went back to reach out to him in a DM to ask, because I DM'd him about possibly having him as a guest on the podcast or something like that. For some of us, like, why do I have a message? Why do I have a message directed at him already? I was like, this would be my first DM. And I looked and see what it was related to was because I was asking him to get the block off my video because what it did was it took down my channel, I think, for a little bit because he DMCA'd it or something like that. He had it removed. He was nice about it, but and then I just removed the video that I did or whatever. But I believe I'm almost certain it was the Cuphead related video. That's what I think it was.
That's
Nah,
crazy.
somebody said that it was
Oh, okay.
the Takahashi probably. I don't know. Like maybe
Well,
it
that's
was your video though.
no. You're probably right. That's probably when I got blocked
Yeah.
by Jazz because I don't understand why he blocked me. Like,
No, like
I mean,
I
y'all be
don't. I
posting
could be
tweets, and I'll be
wrong.
like, "Who's this?"
I could be
And I'll like,
wrong
"Jazz."
that
I'm like,
I could be wrong that it was Cuphead, but it was something I posted or I was reacting to, but it was content from him. But I'm almost certain it was the Cuphead video. Remember, everybody was laughing at the journalists who couldn't jump over the block during the tutorial.
That's the thing. I don't think
I
everybody
believe it was that
laughing at
video.
it. Yeah, maybe everybody wasn't laughing at it. It was some people that wasn't, and they,
Yeah, but yeah, they were. Anybody was posting that. I just remember pleading with him, like, dude, can you just? I'll take the video down, whatever. I remember because that wasn't the first time I got like my a DC. I remember PlayStation took down, had my channel temporarily shut down because I did a video about the PlayStation Slim without any photos or whatever of it. I just said, I dare PlayStation to take this video down. I'm talking about it, but I'm not using the actual footage or anything like that. And they took it down.
right.
And I I contested it because I had proof. I had no source material. So that they had to put it back, but it was the weirdest. It was the weirdest scenario. But like I was trolling back then too. So, but yeah, man.
Right.
Shouts out to everyone who's tuning in live. I definitely appreciate it. So, Copeboy, what do we have next? What we have next? I know something else happened.
The FPS boost, man. We got to cover that. 74 more games were added to FPS boost. A total of 97 total titles on Xbox support FPS boost. The one feature that people were trying to downplay and say, yo, we don't play old games. You don't care about FPS boost. But if today, right now, at 9:20 p.m. Eastern time, if Sony says, yo, Horizon Zero Dawn, 60 FPS, PS5,
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne.
It'd be
Bloodborne.
That's all I hear is
Last
man, they
of
want
Us
Bloodborne
Part 2, PS5 update. It's over.
Bloodborne.
You need to be living rent free in your head. Can I say something?
Go
No,
ahead,
but that's
Chris.
an old game though too.
Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah.
This is very cool. Like, this is a feature. This is a feature that I can't hate on, and I would not hate on as far as this feature for older games getting a boost. Right? It's making these games, these preserved games, back whatever you want to call it, right, run better. This is a great feature. This is a Microsoft did. Even though regardless how I feel overall about Xbox, there's certain features that I do like about Xbox. This is one of those features. Also the quick resume, because coming from like this whole thing with Returnal, the PS5 can benefit from quick resume, right?
There you go.
But then when I think about this, right, because the PS5 has games that have been up, what you may call it, like upscaled or whatever, what I mean, got boost, right? The game, they're calling it a game boost now, right? They just came out with a new commercial, the game boost, right? They have a bunch of those stuff, and then when I think about it, for me personally, I will, even though there's like games like God of War, Ghost of Tsushima, a couple third-party games and stuff like that gets that I've played before that gets these boosts. I never want to, like, even with the boost, if I go back to them, it's just to see how it runs, and it's never, for me personally, is never to go back to and just play through the whole thing again. I will do that with certain games, right? Like I did that this year with Nier Automata, right, and with Demon Souls, but those were like the only two games that was like I've played before that I went back and played again. Demon Souls is an exception.
What if it was a game you never played?
Because hold on, I'm gonna get to that. Right? So games that, yeah, of course, if it's a game that I never played, for me, it's like if it's a game you never played, regardless of when it's released, it's a new game for you at the time. You know what I mean? But for a lot of these games that I do play, it's like I never want to go, like I don't really have a lot of incentives to really go back. Like even so, like, because like if the PS5 today they came out and say, hey, we have 100 boosted games, I'll be like, yo, that's amazing. But how many of those games would I actually go back and replay and beat from start to finish, except some of the ones that I never played for me personally. So this still doesn't really move like a whole bunch of needle for me. This still doesn't really move the needle for me that much, but the feature itself is great. For as far as like what they're doing with the preservation and stuff like that. This is something that you can't hate on. Ponies, you can't hate on this. I understand, like for me, and I agree, right? Like new console, new games, right? That should be the main focus, the primary focus. I still stand by that. But this is a cool feature for nonetheless. So yeah, that's my opinion on it.
Hello? Yeah,
Yep. Yeah. But for anybody like who's gonna go back and have like a whole slew of games to go back and play now at these higher frame rates, if you have the monitor or TV to support it, because you know what I mean. Because a lot of people don't. Majority of people, and I would say that a lot of the people who have Xbox right now don't have a monitor or a TV that supports 120 frames. But for those who do, hey man, if you take advantage, like there's some games that has it that you never played and you want to go back and play, take advantage of it and play games.
Let me clarify something.
It's not even the 120. It's the 60.
The majority of these games ran at
30 to 160 is definitely a game changer. Like that makes every game just feel so much better. Just going from 30 to 60.
Mad Max quadrupled his frame rate from 30 to 60.
It's not even about going to 120. Yeah, I don't have.
Would you say, old man? You say just 60? It's just 60. It ain't nothing. It's crazy.
I think it's.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, old man.
No, you're okay. I just think it's awesome. Like I love it.
Yeah, it's one of the.
Although sometimes it's just inconveniently happening to me, where right after I beat a game, they're like, "Hey,
I told you, old man, bro.
I gave update.
I gave you lead time update. I said, hey.
No, literally, like I talked like because there was a whole big debacle with
Returnal, Record. Yeah.
I was like, Recore, like, just it went under the radar for me.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna see what it's all about. Everybody's talking about it. And then like, so I was when you told me that, I was already like at the end game. I was already at the end game. And I was like, well, I'm already here. I'm just gonna fucking beat it, be done with it. Have a nice day. Everybody else can enjoy the 60 FPS. I did it 30.
The thing about the FPS boost it's my favorite feature of next gen. You know what I mean? I know everybody else is. A lot of people love like the haptic feedback from the DualSense or the I/O throughput in PS5 and stuff, and quick resume on Xbox and stuff like that. The FPS boost was like when they first teased it. I'm like, oh, this is pretty big because. It's what it is like when the Xbox One X came out, we were just waiting for what's getting a resolution boost, and how they were covering games, 360 games that got like texture filtering and a resolution boost and stuff like that. And now they're going up a step further with resolution boost. And the thing is, reason why I thought it would be a bigger deal to especially people I'm sitting there arguing with most of the time is because the number one thing that these guys always talk up is. Oh, frame rate performance. Oh, frame rate over resolution, frame rate over this and this. And then now it's time to talk. Now we get, all right, is it really frame rate over resolution? Because if it is, there's only one box that's really showing you, yeah, frame rates matter, right? So it's like, I'm looking at the PC guys that, always want to chime in on the console war, and they want to look at Xbox as it's not the box to go to. I'm looking at these PlayStation guys who like to show comparison charts of PlayStation games when let's say is edging Xbox and frame rates. They love to show those snapshots at that one given point. But when update like this, like one of the biggest games of like this year, or one of the biggest games in general, got like an FPS boost and nobody's experienced it on a higher at these frame rates on console before, and you finally can, and people want to say, oh, it's old games, and then you think about, wait a minute, but just 3 weeks ago, y'all was hype. Ratchet and Clank got FPS got boosted to 60 frames per second, and that game is 26. That's 5 years old.
You can't win. You can't win with these guys, man. It's just so hypocritical and funny because they're showing all these screenshots of Ratchet and Clank PS4 game updated to 60 frames per second on PS5, but then we get 74 games. 74 games get updates to FPS boost, and it's like, oh, it's a great feature, but nobody fucking cares. You don't play old games, so you were just playing Ratchet and Clank. Like, what do you mean?
It's the weirdest thing, and I can give you an accurate. And
God of War. And God of War.
God of War.
I'll say names. Fucking Wooly Gamer.
Okay.
And I still gotta get my one-on-one matchup with him because I invited him to the podcast. And I said, yo, listen, if you wanna have a discussion, you're always invited on Planet Xbox.
Yeah.
That ain't no problem. You can always come on here.
I mean, I'm sorry, Chris. This is your whole inner circle. And I'm almost certain if I wanted to do the investigative work on any of those folks, if I really wanted to, cause me, I say I have a big mouth. I don't know when to shut up, so that's why it's easy to grab receipts on me, right? Because I don't know how to shut up. So, but the thing is, if I really wanted to go and dig deep and grab clips or screenshots of them hyping up Days Gone at 60, Ghost of Tsushima at 60, God of War at 60, begging for Horizon at 60, or The Last of Us.
Yeah. This is why I said this is a feature that I won't. This is why I just said I won't downplay. I think this is a great feature. I won't downplay this feature because there are, like I said, majority of the games I won't go back to, but there are certain games that I will go back to if they get a bump. Bloodborne being one of them. This is why I don't hate on the feature because then I'll be a fucking hypocrite.
Yeah.
Then I'll be the ones that y'all talking about. Oh, I'm downplaying. I'm saying because I can see you say, well, you hyped up to play old games at 60. But what are the new games? That's trash. Next week, Bloodborne's PS5 remastered 60. Oh my god, that's amazing! What? I can't wait to play this game again. I'm not like that would be so hip. That's why I'm like this. Like I don't know. I
respect
that. That's on y'all. Like I can't.
I respect that. Chris has some consistency.
Shout out to Wooly because that's my guy, man. I can't.
Shout out to Wooly. Yeah, shout out to him. But he's a hypocrite.
Other people, jazz or whatever.
Nah, but as far as Chris, Barry, Persona, and all that, them niggas, they put their time in, you know what I mean? But I don't know about Wooly, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Oh man.
I give props to Chris for man holding his ground. You dig? Like I mean, with this whole FPS shit, like we see it all the time. Like them talking about they don't play old games, but they'll go out. The only way that they've been able to get certain like these enhancements or boosts is through remasters, and that seems to be more like taxing than just like the method that Xbox has come up with. So it's like, I mean, are you mad that this shit is coming so easily? Because this shit is really beautiful.
Do like the Last of Us Part 1 remake.
For me
already.
Well, we don't know when that's coming out. We just heard.
But the fact that it's in development is
but we don't know how. We don't know to what extent. Like we, it was just all inside information or whatever. But for me personally, for games that I don't own, which is a lot, right? For games that I don't own, if I want to play them again, me personally, especially if it's more than two generations. I personally prefer remasters and remakes. Me personally, especially if it's a game that I don't own. Now, if it's like a PS4 game that I own, and then PS5, you know what I mean, is whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But me personally, I do prefer remasters and remakes over just like a little boost.
So I got a question.
Whatever.
So I got a question. Since you said that, so as far as you say you like remasters, remasters, as long as it's like some type of like the Spider-Man remaster, that was a significant enhancement from the PS4. It's like nice. You know what I mean? But then you got remasters like was the Zelda one, Skyward Sword.
Yeah, that was garbage.
Nintendo didn't do shit to it, and they're charging full price. And the game was $50 brand new on the Wii. But then you got $60. You know what I mean? That those are the differences. You know what I mean? Like there's different levels to remasters and remakes and different enhancements. They're not all the same.
Chris,
Go ahead.
but the PS5 and the Series X is a different type of hardware than the Switch, so we don't expect like a remaster. I mean, I understand what you
No,
mean,
the
bro.
Switch is more powerful than the
Maybe,
Wii.
yeah, it is. It is.
They
It
could
is,
do a
yeah.
lot
They
more
could definitely
enhancements.
do
They could have
something
done
to
a lot
that
more
game.
enhancements.
But we do
Absolutely.
expect when it comes like the specs and stuff like that, because you know these consoles like the PS5 and the Series X, like they do have the advantage, like as far as they can patch games now. So remasters, it's like I get remakes, but remasters, I don't know, bro. Like
No,
you can just,
but that's what I'm
you
saying.
know what I mean?
It's okay
We
because
shouldn't
like
see too many remasters. You know what I
right,
mean? Can you
it's a
agree with
difference
that?
because
How?
you could do something like okay, you could boost it right and make the frame rates up, but it's still the exact same game. When a remaster, they can improve
We talking
quality
about
of life
patch-
changes. They can improve textures. They can there's so much more. Like I said, like the Spider-Man remaster compared to the 2018.
I think the Spider-Man.
Just cut down for me.
I think the Spider-Man remaster is an outlier.
Right, but
That's a
right.
big outlier. The majority of remasters that we got, for the most
What
part,
about a
are just
patch?
resolution.
But near
that's
replicant.
I'm talking about
A slight-
patches, like
a slight
Division
resolution
2.
boost. Yeah, like the Division 2 patch is significant.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
That's not a
Like,
remaster.
A God of
That's-
a God of War 2018 patch made a huge difference for me while playing the game. Like,
right, like shit like that.
Right, that's what I said. It's like for like
They
the
didn't have to
PS4,
do
like
that.
the PS4 generation. Most of the games could just be like patched, right? And you don't need a remaster for it. But then there's some
That's-
games that is like they want to do more, like you know, I keep
Like a
mentioning
remake.
Insomniac. They want to do more to it. They want to change the facial models. They want to improve the hair and all that shit. They want to do a lot more. But then there's some
I
that just
guess.
is like, oh, we're just gonna enhance it for. That's what I'm saying. It's different level. That's what I'm saying. You
I
can't
got what
view
you're saying.
every
Yeah.
remastered or remake or enhancement as the same because they're not all the same.
We
Some are just
I guess-
like-
we gotta pay some
Yeah.
bills
Go ahead.
for real.
Oh, go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to Big Al Labassa. Big Al. No, it's not big. It's Big Alabassa. I might be saying it wrong because it's all one word. So Blagalabaza, $5. He said if they make Assassin's Creed Odyssey 60 frames per second, I'll go back and play that since I 100%ed Valhalla. Yeah, Odyssey or Origins FPS boosted and maintain the resolution if they can. I'd be all for it. Matter of fact, I just make them, even if they don't FPS boost, have Ubisoft do what they did with the Division and Ghost Recon and make it Gen 9 aware so it can get to those frame rates on its own. Jane Mark Lewis says for $199, a remaster is still old, bruh. That is to Chris.
Yeah, nobody said it wasn't. What does he mean?
Well,
Nobody said it wasn't old. Like
you said you would you would prefer a
yeah,
remaster.
well, I would prefer. Yeah, but like I said, there's different levels to remasters. So it's like, what type of remaster are you talking about? Are you talking about the bare minimum, like Skyward Sword, or are you talking about like a significant enhancements, like Near Replicant? Look at Near Replicant and everything they did to that, and look at the old game. It's a night and day difference from the combat they've revised and everything like that. That's what I'm talking about. Like shit like that, I would definitely prefer more. That doesn't mean that the boosting and stuff aren't good, because there's some games that hold up very well. That was just all they need is an FPS boost and they're good to go. And then there's other games that need to be tweaked more. There's other older games that need to be tweaked more that they're not what's the word? They don't live up to modern times, or they don't have the standard controls or whatever. So that's what I'm saying.
Speaking of, I have to a couple things, like this whole, some of these boosts though should be credited as remasters for the simple fact that like for example, like I'm gonna just name off a couple games, because like the thing about FPS, and I'm gonna do a separate video on this because I guess a lot of people ask, like people are under the assumption that every game that gets FPS boosts, its resolution is dropped, and that's not the case. It's sort of all engine based. Some engines are better with scaling, and the emulator can do some game engines better than others where it doesn't require it. But the games that do not require the resolution to drop, and the only games that are getting resolution drops are the games that has an Xbox One X version not games that had like one resolution target to begin with. Like a game that was like 1080p on Xbox One to begin with isn't being dropped any below that to hit this new frame rate or anything like that. So, but games like, for example, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is the latest Tomb Raider game. It's an Xbox One X era game. It had a performance mode, resolution mode. Now you got FPS boost. You don't have to choose the performance mode to play it at 60. You can play it in resolution mode, 4K at 60, and it's a different game. I feel like that. I feel like I finally got a remaster. I know they just released that whole trilogy thing, and they did no additional enhancements to them. They just kind of bundled it and said, here's the trilogy, whatever. But with FPS boost, I feel like I got a proper remaster for Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Definitive Edition. I'm just waiting for FPS boost for Rise of the Tomb Raider because I feel like that's the best one. And if I can play that at 4K 60, I am happy. So I'm going to play through the DLC of Shadow of the Tomb Raider because of that. Because like I had to choose between 1080p 60 when it came out or 4K 30, and I found myself going back and forth between the two. Prey 1440p 60. People hated the game back in the day because on consoles at least because of long load times, inconsistent performance. When it got to the Xbox One X, sure they got the resolution boost, but it still not the ideal performance. Now you got a clean 1440p 60 game, no resolution drop. The Division is now like people say that one is better. You're getting a 4K image at 60 frames per second. Mad Max, even though there's no resolution boost to it, it's a 4 times jump in performance in an open world game. I don't even like Mad Max, but that's crazy. That's crazy from 1080 30 to 1080 120. Assassin's Creed Unity, I mean, it took years for them, to fix it and patch it right, but now we got the performance. We don't have to do no trickery with a disc. Assassin's Creed Rogue Remastered Edition. We got the 4K native resolution and we get 60 frames per second. So we're getting a remaster to the remaster that just came out. Recore. Like I said, all I thought, now I'm pretty sure I've been proven wrong, but my knock against Returnal, I said I looked like a polished Recore. And now Recore got polished to the liking I wanted. 1440p 60, native. No reconstruction, nothing. You know what I mean? But it's 1440p 60.
It's nothing like Recore.
Yeah.
It's nothing like Recore.
I don't know. Have you played Recore, Chris? Matter of fact,
Have you played Returnal?
No, I have not.
Okay, then so you can't do that.
I can't say. I'm just going by the eye test. By the eye test, it looks a lot like Recore. That's the only thing I can go by. Like I said, it looks better than Recore with the visual effects and the enemy types and stuff all look better than Recore. But in terms of, if I had to put two together, maybe Returnal's location is better than Recore's location. The Recore's character is better. Julie's a better character than who this astronaut woman they're looking at.
You don't know,
like
but you haven't experienced the story.
I think I would go with the Recore story. It sounds from the reviews. It sounds like Returnal ain't got much of a story.
No, it does. It has a great story, actually. It has a great story, actually.
Who's about to make a review?
You said
it's funny because as soon as it says it's not Recore, it's like, well, did you play Recore?
I know, you got me.
And then he's talking about the story. He hasn't even played the story. He don't know anything about the character.
My peers tell me it's not much of a story there. Like
no, there is absolutely. It's not a. So the way
nobody super known, it's definitely a lot of searching and finding your own.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like the Souls games, you got to piece everything together.
Oh yeah.
It's not a traditional like.
It's not linear.
So the stories just look sitting on a 5 or something.
No, but it's it's really interesting once you start digging into it. Like, cause you're dealing with, and it makes completely sense with the gameplay. Like the story and the gameplay go hand in hand. Like how the gameplay and the the recycle and all that stuff is like.
Yeah.
The way it's played into the story, like. So far, I haven't beat the game, but so far is written very smart from the things that I'm gathering and piecing things together.
You're in the last biome though, right? So you're almost done, right?
Yeah, I'm on the second to last. I'm on the 5th biome. So
I'm on 3rd biome. I can't get out of it. I suck. Send help.
You don't suck, man. You don't suck. I think
Nah,
it's
dude,
No, that
can't
third
lie.
biome ain't no joke. That third biome,
The boss, I get to the boss and he just clasps my cheeks left and right, and I die.
Oh, Nemesis. Oh no, it took me only twice to beat him. All the boss only really took so far. Well, the one on the fourth biome took me the first try. I beat him the first try, but every single boss has taken me 2 tries, and that's it.
Man, I wish
Before we move on from FPS boost, is there any particular game that has been boosted to FPS? Has FPS boosted that you guys found like your most? I guess is there one that you're most happy with so far? Or
Dying Light.
Yeah,
Dying
which ones
Light,
are they
I am
gonna
the
go
most-
back and play? And
I am the most
beat?
happy about Dying Light in FPS boost. That's amazing. Yeah, that's my favorite out of every game on this list, honestly.
Dying Light?
Is there any possibility that they would, could they FPS boost 360 games?
I
Like, I don't know if it's possible, but man, if they could, dude, there's some games I'd like
I
to
think
go
they
back
can. I mean, but here's the thing about the 360 games, right? You know how it's weird because there was 360 games on Xbox One X that were boost just because it was running
like enhanced. I think what Fallout 3, but I don't think it had it didn't have a frame rate boost. It was just a resolution.
games were being boosted
Yeah, they
on
were
to get, like a lot of these Splinter Cell games were getting like going at 60 and shit like that. It's there's games that are 60 just natively because it's running on the hardware. So I don't know how that works. Maybe some of them. Some
It'll
games
be
are
tricky with 360 games because they're running it in the emulator and then you have to emulate the FPS.
Yeah, that's true.
It's weird.
That's true. We got to see because I forgot the 360 is that's ready through an emulator, whereas the Xbox One game I know the emulator the FPS boost itself I think is like sort of emulating trick that they're doing. I don't know, man. I think they'll do it and I think they'll roll it out. But I don't know. I know there's people. I ain't gonna no lie. There's not really many 360 games that I care to play at this time. I would like to play. I thought Spec Ops could use the FPS boost, but it could also use some image cleanup because the game does look dated. Very good game, just looks dated. It just right now 360 games don't look good to me anymore. To the point where I don't know how much of a benefit. I know the Series X and 1X did clean up a lot of them to make them look like early one games. Go ahead.
Spec Ops. You just beat that. You thought it was a great game.
I thought Spec Ops was a great game. It wasn't a great looking game.
Oh man, you put up with it. But I get
No,
you.
of course I played it. It was a great game. It wasn't a great looking game. There's nothing they can do to fix it's just dated. It's 2012, I think, or something like that. Like or 2011. I don't know what year that game
Yeah,
came
I think
out.
it was a little bit later in 2012.
Spec Ops? Couldn't.
13
Yeah, it
or
was like
something.
2012. No, it was 2012.
Yeah, it was.
I think so.
2012 or 13. One of those years.
No, I think
It's
it was
an older
12.
game. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said the games. You said it was Copo. You said Dying Light.
Yeah, Dying Light, like that one really stood out to me in terms of the FPS boost. I thought that game desperately needed it for the longest, and I'm just really glad
Yeah.
that game got FPS boost on the Xbox Series X.
Yeah. What about you, Nick?
Well, like I said, I just downloaded Anthem. I've been playing Division 1, Far Cry 5. And they the only ones I checked out so far that I've been able to download.
Oh, you played Watch Dogs 1, right, Smooth?
Yeah, I did.
How was that?
Dude, here's the thing. Remember my complaint when Watch Dogs 2 got that update? I was like, this is an ugly 900p.
Yeah.
Very pixelated. I did not. I was like, there's not an amount of frame rates they can do to Watch Dogs 2 to make it like look better or feel better. Watch
Yeah,
Dogs
that
1.
gave me a next gen patch.
Yeah, no. Now Watch Dogs 1. Now I played that. I played that on the 1X and I beat it, enjoyed it. I ended up liking the game. With FPS boost, yes. Once again, it still looks better than Watch Dogs 2. And in motion, I was just like, wait a minute. I wish I didn't freaking play through the game because there's not much to go back to. I don't even know if I have many side quests to do. But Watch Dogs 1 at 60 frames per second is I am impressed. The games that I'm most impressed by is obviously Shadow of the Tomb Raider because it feels current because it's 4K, it's 60, it's what we're kind of getting used to. Unity, Watch Dogs. There's what else? There's a couple games I haven't gotten to try yet because I just realized I didn't own them anymore because I had a different game share partner when some of these other games that I tried. The Division, of course. I tried Far Cry 5, and believe it or not, I was not feeling it because the Xbox One is literally the biggest Achilles heel because of how like weak it was and the type of images it was putting out. I think Far Cry 5 on the Xbox One S is I think 1440 by 1080. So it's not like a full 1080p. So what it does is when you're playing it at its native resolution, it gives you like this fuzzy look. Like I think you would fare better. It will look probably much better or more appropriate on a smaller screen, like on the monitor. Because a lot of these games I was trying on the CX, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna probably play this on my other Xbox on my monitor, where it's a smaller screen, 1440p native resolution. I think it won't be as apparent, like the fuzziness, and then I'll probably enjoy like the smoothness of the frame rate of the game better. But playing it on like a big screen like Far Cry 5 in the FPS boost, it's not the prettiest image. It get like this fuzzy look, and it's weird when you're coming off a native 4K image with those high ass textures that they were using on Far Cry 5. It just, I was like, damn, this is a game I kind of wish they just go and do BC plus to like make it Gen 9 aware and then up the frame rate that way, where you're not losing that resolution fidelity. So that for those anybody interested in terms of the Far Cry, I think it kind of just, to me, if you're used to playing it on the Xbox One or Xbox One S, you're just gonna be happy that it looks better. But I think I played most of my time with the game was at like native 4K 30, and then you play that on a Series X at 4K is even better. The resolution drop is a hard hit. That's why I was like, you know, I'm gonna go, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to play it on the monitor at 60. I'm not going to do it on the TV. It's just too the image is just too fuzzy for me. But overall, I am enjoying FPS boost. A lot of games. There's still some. I still got a ton of wish list left. But go ahead.
Far Cry 4 was good though.
Far Cry 4 is appropriate because there was no Xbox One. That's all I'm used to. I knew what Far Cry 4 looks like, and that's why when I play Far Cry Primal, I'm waiting for. So Far Cry Primal, I just realized I don't own that game. So it's like I gotta wait for that annual Ubisoft sale where it's gonna be like $5, or I gotta wait for the game to go into Game Pass sometime this year. Like I'm speaking that into existence. But I still have a wish list of like games that I would love to see happen. The Crackdown games, Dead Rising, of course. We're not going to get Sunset Overdrive, but you know, PS5. What's going on with this Sunset Overdrive? I know that's a good.
There was a trademark for it to come out on PS5.
Yes.
Right? And was there? Did I see like a potential trademark for a sequel? Was that what it was?
No, we saw the trademark for the original game.
My bad. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chris.
Nah. Okay. So, they definitely trademarked it, Sunset Overdrive. You know how it is. It's sucked on Xbox, but it's gonna be amazing on PlayStation. The facts, baby, facts.
Oh,
So you guys trashed the game, and now the game's gonna be fired.
I never trashed the game. I never trashed the game.
I
also the game. Unfortunately, I got rid of my Xbox One right before the game came out. I got rid of my Xbox One, got a PC right before the game.
Well, it's a lot of Insomniac cards out there, man.
But yeah, so they just trademark it. Don't know what's gonna come of that. As far as the sequel, there was a supposedly rumored leak list about Sony's next presentation, right? The next showcase or whatever, right? Conference. That had a couple games in there, and one of the games, and then it said Sunset Overdrive, like a remaster version, and then something called Sunset. I forgot what it was called, but it's supposed to be a sequel. But Colin Moriarty responded to that rumor. He said he doesn't know about any of the other games, but for particularly what Insomniac, he knows that that's not true as far as like a sequel being in development. For Sunset Over. I'm not expecting that. But as far as like, I think they are gonna do a remaster Sunset Overdrive for the PlayStation 5. I think so. I think they're gonna do that. Probably get interest in the for the PlayStation fans who didn't play it, obviously, and see where it goes from there. I really want Insomnia after Ratchet and Clank, Spider-Man 2, whatever. I really want them to do another Resistance, but we'll see what happens. But y'all tell me, like, I haven't played Sunset Overdrive. How was the game? Y'all liked it? I know Smooth, you liked it.
Yeah, shit, I liked it. Shit, I beat that jump.
Yeah, I played the crap out of it.
It was like last year.
I begged for an Xbox One X enhancement, never got it. I begged for a Series X enhancement, and then Sony bought Insomniac. So,
and that's a game that's an actual like true exclusive to the Xbox One. Like it's not on PC or
no, it went to PC. It went to PC like years later.
Yeah, like last year.
Yeah, it went to PC in 2019, I think. Yeah.
All right. I thought that was like one of the last few ones.
No,
I tried to play it on PC. I got a couple of I was like, you know what? Nah, you know what I mean. If technically, they can FPS boost it. It's there at that point. The version that's on Xbox now is theirs. Like they have the rights to it. Like
the devs don't gotta touch it, so I mean, it ain't like they gotta go to Sony or nothing. So.
Yeah, the thing is, the thing I don't understand about FPS boost, right? And needing these publishers' permission, I think it should be a courtesy thing because at the end of the day, right? If I buy a game on PC, once I get it on PC, I can do whatever I want to the frame rate and resolution I don't care how they intended to make it. I can do whatever I want to the frame rate, and so it's a game on Xbox platform. They should be able to have that same right, give the customer that same right in terms of how the customer wants to play it. So I can understand the technical issues, like changing the frame rate on this game when it was designed at like 30 or whatever, or 45 frames could fuck it up and it makes the performance even worse or something like that. That's different. But the fact we got to get this permission, it shouldn't be that way. But it's from what we can see, there's 97 games. All the major publishers seem to be on board, from WB Games to Ubisoft to obviously Bethesda. EA has been a big contributor. I think we're lacking Square Enix and Capcom games for the most part, but I think
Capcom games.
You got what? Tomb Raider Square.
So Chris, I would say for the most part, but that they got a relationship there, obviously, with the Tomb Raider games, Crystal Dynamic games, and stuff like that. They got you know what game I have to? I don't know if I'll buy it, but I want to play it. I never played it before. Deus Ex.
Mankind.
No, yeah, that's good.
That
was a good one.
You'll like that.
Yeah, the second one was okay. The first one was really fucking good. The first one was super good. The second one was okay. It wasn't as good as the first one, but that's a series I really hope Square Enix can bring back. But obviously that developer went on to make the Avengers game, and so unfortunately with Avengers, it's not really hitting with a lot of people. So I hope they go back and make Deus Ex. Yeah.
Wait. I'm confused. Like I thought Crystal Dynamics. Eidos. Okay.
Eidos
Montreal, right? Though.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a different branch of Eidos, though, right?
Yeah, because I know Crystal Dynamics did Avengers, and then Eidos because But
Eidos helped them out with it.
Yeah, because Eidos, I recall when Crystal Dynamics moved on to the Avengers, when it was time for another Tomb Raider, Eidos had to do it. It wasn't that the last Tomb Raider to come out wasn't Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eidos did it. Then I think they went out to help with the Avengers because I think I remember seeing both of their names attached to the Avengers as a joint project.
But that's also why, just to kind of like backtrack just a little bit, why Mass Effect, like Andromeda, like you had the multiplayer team from the trilogy as the main team for Andromeda. So you had them trying to handle writing and all of that shit, and they're not writers. So it's like you had them trying to do that. Like they tried to scoot some people over to help them in that process. But that's why the gameplay like was so good, like the multiplayer from the trilogy, like especially like the second and third one. That's why it was so good. But then like the story and all the connectivity and stuff was just like all over the place and really ass, and the characters weren't much. But yeah. Sorry, I just had to get it.
Big. I don't know if I said it right. Big Alabasta says, for $5, hey Smooth, would you rather play Battlefield 4 at 4K 60 or 720p 120 frames per second? I wish they made that an option. Technically, you have that option with the other Battlefields.
Yeah, with Battlefield 5.
1 and Battlefield 5.
4. Battlefield 4 never got a 4K update on Xbox, so that's the biggest thing. And the game came out in 2013, so they kept the resolution the same and just doubled the frame rate.
That was back before they were doing.
I could play it at 120.
That was back before they were doing dynamic resolutions and stuff like that, and they improved the dice. And they didn't start improving like that engine until like Battlefront. Until like
Battlefield 1 or something.
Yeah, Battlefield 1. That's what it was. Battlefield 1, Battlefront 2, and Battlefield 5 was sort of like they were getting better with like the resolution scaling and stuff, even on the base Xbox One console. So, but anybody watching this for the EA games, like the Battlefields and the Battlefronts, I recommend you playing those games at their 4K 60 enhancements, because now when you're playing, they were already targeting 4K resolution. I don't know if you guys remember all those comparisons and stuff like that. Like the frame rate was never locked on the Xbox One X or that great, but the texture work and the resolutions were like super high, and that's because when Xbox One X came out, it was like a race of who could get their game at like native 4K or who could be the first to use like the PC textures, right, on the Xbox One X. Remember, it was a big deal that like Wolfenstein did it, Battlefront looked gorgeous and all that stuff. But now you're at a point, if you play those games now on your Series X at like without FPS boosting, you're just playing at the 4K 60, you're getting native 4K 60 frames per second, and you're getting like the highest performant version of that game at those settings. Whereas to turn those games to 120 frames, you're going to get those, the lower resolution. You're going to get the Xbox One settings, and you're going to get a nice, smooth performing game, but visually it's not messing with the 60 frames version of it. It's just no contest. Like Battlefront 2, Battlefield 5, and Battlefield 1 all look like natural next-gen games running on the Series X. They were very good for their time, and they just look even better on the Series X.
Like, but it's like, that's the weird thing, is that like a lot of these people who are talking about, oh no, not the 120 though. Like, I mean, I'm going back and I'm going through Battlefield 4, and it's like, and I beat it on the 1X or one of the ones. Yeah. So I beat the jump, and it was like I'm going back and I'm playing it at this higher frame rate, and it doesn't look bad. Like, it's like maybe my eyes are fucked up, but I know, like, I mean, my vision is legit. Like, it's like 2020 for real. So it's just like I'm looking at this game in motion and just like graphically, like it doesn't look like. You know how typically when they lower like a resolution, like shit looks muddy and everything, and it's like there's a lack of clarity a bit. But with this, I haven't seen drop from like it doesn't look like it's like fucking hideous.
You have so
they kept the same resolution.
Yeah. You're playing Battlefield 4 where there was never a higher resolution. That was like that's always been a resolution. So Battlefield 4 to me, when I played it. It doesn't look that bad. It's when I was playing it on the monitor. It doesn't. I'll play Battlefield 4. Yes, keep it at its 120 hertz resolution. Don't drop it. Keep FPS boost on. That's the recommended way to do it. It's the later ones that have. If you had access to, say, to the Xbox One X version and stuff like that, or if you tried them on the Series X or whatever. Series S, it doesn't matter. If you like the Series S, you don't even get the 120 hertz option. So you just play as it was intended to play. You're still going to get a higher performant version of the game than you would have if you were playing on the 1S or the 1X at that point. You're still going to get like that lock 60.
Okay, hold up, Smooth. So so you say that if I still play the drain, like let's say like the later versions of the Battlefield games, I still get like a 60 frames mode, or is it at 30?
No.
Like
Battlefield 4.
Those games had a 60 FPS mode. The thing is that with those games, they were unlocked because they were targeting higher textures at the higher resolution.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump into those because I thought like when I looked at the list, I thought it was saying that like the Series S didn't get anything for those, and I was like, damn, that's fucked up. So like I was like, fuck it then. But
because they're ready.
If it's at least 60, then I'll go back.
Bro, they have an unlocked frame rate already. They just the power of the Xbox Series X just makes
Who's that?
higher.
Who the fuck is that?
That's Spartan. You're Spartan. You can't be
You
doing
see
that,
how-
Spartan.
I didn't even.
Why you keep coming in
Surprise.
here uninvited, bro?
Yo,
Bro, I didn't even see that.
Nigga,
Like,
I'm
this
not
man,
playing
like-
the
Black Bond.
Xbox, bro.
Like this man,
what
like
you mean,
Brother Man
uninvited?
from Martin, bro. Like I didn't even see
I'm always
like his
invited,
thing
bro.
pop up, bro.
yeah,
What you're
no.
not gonna
So
do. My bad, Spotting.
Swans, all you gotta you're already for the series that you're already getting the highest sans any 120 frames mode. You're already getting the highest performance version of that game running while it's on the Series S. Like better than what it was on the 1S. Performance wise, better than what it was on the 1X. You're getting the peak performance of what that system at that point can do for that particular version.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Smooth. You said you playing on a monitor, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
with you.
I'm not permanently playing. I go back and forth between my TV.
Be honest with y'all. You do know games look better on the monitor most of the time, right?
No, it don't.
It don't.
No.
You can prove that.
Yeah,
It depends
Like
on
the
the
refresh
monitor.
rate, the fluidity,
Shit,
of that,
right?
bro.
No,
All
all right,
that
all
screen
right.
rate.
If
I
you're
don't
talking,
know.
remember.
if you're
He
talking
has
about
an
PC, if you're talking about PC games, that's one thing. That's one thing.
Nah, dude.
Nah,
There's
hold
right
on.
now,
Hold
based
on.
off what I have, I got 3 monitors sitting in front of my face that my Xbox has been plugged into at least once, and none of them is beating out my LG CX yet.
That's the LG CX.
I'm sorry,
Crazy.
so
Yeah,
did
Yeah, that's the
that's why
LG
it's-
CX though.
You have
Like
to-
I'm
you
saying,
have to
from
see
my-
that
That's
in
the
person.
LGCX, bro. That's different.
You can't say a monitor's gonna give me a better image, and then when I say CX, you go, well, that's the CX
I
though.
never said it. Give you a better image.
Well, hold up. For
Games
my
usually look better
for my
on a monitor.
4K for my 4K Samsung, like the Drink does HDR, 60 hertz, whatever the fuck. So like when I plugged in, let's say like Cyberpunk, and it was already like a shitty looking game almost. So it was like when I plugged that in and I was switching back between my monitors, and I now got 140 hertz Drink or whatever. Like the games look, and I don't know if that's just because how it's the response and the feel like they look better or what, but I don't care shit about playing on a 4K screen anymore. Like, to be honest with you, like with my monitor right now.
Yeah.
Like my
But y'all
monitor's
said
clean.
y'all like the higher frame rate, right? It's better to play on the monitor.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
Let
Like,
me.
But you have to remember these TVs have HDMI 2.1, which can run at higher frame rates as well. So that narrative isn't a thing anymore for TVs.
Yeah, if this-
and they're getting lower.
Not
Spartan,
every
if
TV
you
got that.
Spartan, if you would have
And I'm
told
not
me
saying
this,
I'm not saying every TV has that, but the TVs that do have that and they're very performant. One, they have way better colors. Two, they have better contrast and they're brighter, so the image
They
is
have
Yeah.
more pixels. It's bigger.
yeah, Spartan, if you would have
Yeah,
told me
that
this
too.
like last year or something like that, I'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely, because I played for the last 3 years before the next generation came out. I played almost exclusively on the monitor. I didn't go back to TV until the Series X and PS5 come out, because they had all these features that there's not one monitor to take advantage of all these features, so I had to go back to a TV. Until those 2.1 monitors come out, then I'll migrate back over to monitors. Until then, it's like right now I'm literally, what made me get to a monitor is like, all right, I do want to get into streaming a little bit, and there is a lot of games that are 120 frames per second that I could play just multiplayer wise that I'm decent at, like Call of Duty, Gears, Halo, whatever. I can do that, and I can do that comfortably on a monitor, and I don't have to worry about it being like obviously 4K or anything like that. I can do that at 1440p 120, sure. But in terms of just natural gaming and just wanting my games to look the best, I'm on the Xbox connected to the TV until those 2.1 monitors come out. My bad.
There's a
No,
lot.
like-
There's a lot
Because
of
I've
monitors
noticed you
that are
said PC. That's if you smooth. You did say if it was PC games, like specifically, then it looked like I don't know if you was trying to say that. Like what you
No,
meant by
not
that?
PC games, but playing games, PC gaming.
On the PC?
On playing games
Yeah.
on PC, you're probably
Alright,
going to get
okay.
better
I feel
experience
you. No,
on a monitor display than the TV display. I
But console
believe.
gaming on the TV. That's what you're saying, right?
The thing is, I'm not against. Like I prefer console on monitor.
know.
Right now, they're just not
Xbox.
one like that is taking full advantage of it. Like I don't like. I feel like for what you get, I feel like I would prefer the highest end monitor, right, over the highest end TV.
Thank
Okay.
you. Smooth.
Okay, no, but what I was gonna say, so I'm playing on a 1080p monitor.
Mhm.
Like this was suggested from Linus Tech Tips or whatever.
Mhm.
Like and there were ways because I saw him configure his monitor to where like you could get better contrast and you could get better brightness. Like there were workarounds around it. Like now my picture plus the performance of like what this monitor allows me to do. Like I personally feel, in my opinion, like it looks better than my 4K TV. Like
Well,
I'm
my
going to
4K
I'm going to
Is that
disagree.
correct?
I'm
No,
going
but
to disagree with
he-
both of you guys. Here's why.
Like,
Go
hey,
ahead, Jay. Go ahead.
that's
Jay.
I
my
would
opinion,
I
though.
would
That's
use
off my
I would
experience.
I know that's your opinion. This is my opinion.
Mhm.
I would rather play on a 55-inch TV
No, no.
on with my console, like a couple feet away, with a really dope ass audio setup with some like a Sonos or some shit, right?
Mhm.
You know, I'm talking about LG CX, you know, Sony 950J whenever that shit drops to HDMI 2.1. I'm talking about the Q90, like one of those high-end LG Nano 90 if it wasn't the LG OLED. You know, HDMI 2.1 TVs with deep contrast, high brightness, and really, really, really great picture quality within them. A lot of these monitors can't reach those specs, and now we're starting
No,
to
but that's
get
the thing
technologies like mini LED in these TVs. Like,
Mhm.
bro, it's over.
But that's the thing, the shit about it. If you're like King David or like yourself, where it's like the bigger the better, then those things are going to appeal to you. I like to sit very close to my monitor. I'm probably like 4 feet away from it. You feel me?
Mhm.
So it's like I'm in front of it. So there's less real estate for me to handle. You feel me? Like me sitting there looking at a fucking 48, 52, 62-inch TV while I'm sitting that close to it. Like I
But
got
you don't have to sit too
I gotta
close to it, because
scan.
me, I'm
But-
talking
no,
about
but
a couple feet away.
No,
I'm
but
not
here's-
I'm not having
that's
a
what I'm-
fight on my
Here's
bed.
one of the before we get off
Hold
the
on, hold on,
tangent.
that's go ahead.
The biggest thing that you guys aren't realizing is what Jay, one, you're on the Series X and the PS5. Swan, you're playing on the Xbox Series S, which is primarily a 1080p, 1440p machine. So you're playing using that
that's a 1080p
connected
machine,
to a
bro.
1080p, whatever you say, connected to a 1440p or 1080p monitor. You're getting honestly the
Microsoft said it.
peak. You're getting the peak.
No, I
you
get
got
that
the peak
part.
display for the console, so you're getting instead of if you plug that console into a 4K, sure it upscales, but nothing's better than its native resolution. So if you got a native 1440p screen or 1080p screen connected to an Xbox Series S and it's meant to take advantage of that, you're gonna have a better visual output on that versus plugging that thing up to a 55 4K a 4K TV. In my
but hold
opinion.
up. You're forgetting that I had a 28-inch 4K monitor though, like a 28-inch 4K monitor.
That's,
And like I
but
went,
your device though, bro. It's your device.
Hold up, no, I understand that, but the point is that that's how I like to play. Even if I had the Series X, I would most likely get a monitor that was 27, 28 inches, like that I would sit up on. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like so, it's just like I like to not have so much to look at, and I
I
don't
just
like
wanna-
to
I'm
sit
waiting
so
for-
far away.
That's
I'm waiting
decent, but
I'm waiting for the LG HDMI 2.1 monitor to drop, and you know I'm waiting for that. In the meantime, I'm going to be playing my consoles mainly on the 55-inch 4K
Yeah,
TV
like your
that I have
television.
right now.
Yeah, they need to
Quantum
hurry up and
dots,
drop those monitors.
10-bit, amazing contrast.
Yeah,
You know-
my drink got 10-bit too.
Yeah.
Like so
Nah,
it's like.
I understand what Swan's saying about the real estate, because sometimes it's like if you get a big ass TV and you're sitting close to it, and you're playing like a shooter or whatever, it's like you really got to look around. Like you got more to look around. Like there's more real estate you got to cover than a smaller TV. Like
Your eyes are scanning a lot
I have
more.
a 55-inch 4K TV, but I sit far enough back to where I don't have to scan a lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
saying.
know, so-
Distance from a
No, but I
TV
was at
that
a
size
homie's
is
house.
good as well.
I was at a homie's house. He had like the 60, 70, whatever the fuck it was. It was
Yeah.
big as shit. Like I sat far away from it playing what the fuck is it? Warfield or whatever the fuck it was called.
Warface, Warframe?
Not a Call of Duty, John. The
Warzone.
Yeah, so we was playing that shit, and it was just like I still had to cover so much, and that's what I don't like having to look from fucking left to right, up, down. Like it was like the only way that I was capturing kills was just because I was listening, because his TV had like this weird like sound shit where it could capture sound from the left and the right and shit, and it was putting it out like that. But I was like, that was the only way, because it was like I don't like the look so much, like to be like scanning so much, like. Especially playing like competitive shooters, like it's
Yeah, I do want to get older.
not
though.
ideal.
It's nice to
wanna
hear
get
y'all
older.
talk about this though. Like I didn't think I was into all of that. That's good, refreshing to hear y'all talking about monitors and shit.
No, yeah, shit, I love this shit. Once I got a
Yeah, because I
monitor,
only got
even
like
at,
6 monitor videos on this channel, bro. But
shit at like 60 frames and shit. Like I was
Nah,
like
Kiss move
hooked
games
at
on a
how it
monitor all the
felt.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I
That's
got
good.
some.
I game on just a TV.
I like Smooth title for his stream. Games played best on Xbox.
absolutely, because that's what it is.
I think that's cute.
You think it's cute? Why?
you think it's cute?
You think
I think it's
you think
cute.
it's
I think
cute?
it's
Why?
cute.
You think it's cute? So, I mean, if you think it's cute, so what? All right. I'm
You
trying to
already
think-
know what my answer is for where games play the best, bro. You already know, and it's not PlayStation.
Absolutely, you're a
okay.
desktop, a
PC.
desktop,
Damn, that nigga
a
said
desktop.
dweller.
I'm trying to say desktop
Desktop.
dweller. You're a
So-
desktop dweller, aren't you?
No,
Yeah,
no.
IBM.
I'm a, nah.
You
So,
said IBM.
let me explain to y'all. We all know the reason you got the systems you do, like the technology y'all have for like consoles. We all know where all that came from. Obviously, PC. I just want you to give credit to PC
Why would we give credit to PC?
because without PC, you wouldn't have the fucking consoles in the first place. All the tech behind it. All the
Well,
SSD
shit, without
and-
consoles, you wouldn't have the games you got. So I mean,
Yeah.
That's correct. But remember, without the games, remember where they programmed and what they built on first before they come
okay,
to
that's a
console.
given though. Like
That's
like
a
you
given.
don't-
Like right.
yeah,
the
like you don't
measuring
get
stick.
props for that.
No, like you see the dev kits, they base it on PCs. So like how far you can go on a console is dependent on PC. Believe it or not, you're right. But the games or the quality,
They're,
that's absolutely correct. But I just don't forget like when Microsoft started.
I'm
the
sorry.
reason
I
why
mean, it's not even that deep, bro. Any device with a USB is a damn computer, bro. So
Yeah, that's true. Shit,
Any,
like our
any
phones,
That's what I
device,
was like-
any device with a motherboard is a
Nah.
computer. Is a device. Is a PC. Like that's the correct terminology of it. Like if it doesn't have a motherboard, it's not a PC, right? Or and your device. I just the higher frame rates, the 120, the hertz, all of that is like monitors, like PC. That's all PC shit. Remember,
no, it's not.
Microsoft
That's not.
is
We've
from
had
them.
TVs at higher hertz before.
No,
like
no.
TVs.
You're missing that.
nah,
I
but
said
not
console.
true. Not true.
Not, I'm
Because
saying
sometimes TV will say 240 hertz.
No.
It'll be one-
No,
right,
it's-
right.
no, you get
That's motion rate.
CRT.
That's like
Smooth.
smooth.
You got
Smooth.
CRTs. You got
that's
plasmas. You
the
have.
difference between motion rate and actual hertz.
Right,
you have to
right.
actually look into that. Now, there are a lot more televisions that support 120 hertz, right? The thing that people didn't know is that to get 4K over HDMI, you need the HDMI 2.1. That's the difference. Until a lot of people started getting these newer panels and understand, for this Xbox
I'm
Series X and
talking about
PS5,
the
I'm gonna need newer
buzzwords.
technology.
I'm talking
Oh,
about
of course,
the
the
buzzwords.
buzzwords came from PC.
All that shit came from PC. It's not defending PC, by the way. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
we know that.
Just never forget where you started, because Microsoft.
I started on console.
Nobody's like denying
No,
that.
this is more for like spoof. Like I know what Xbox
My roots to
do,
gaming
but
has
I'm
nothing to do with PC. I'm never giving PC gaming
I don't know where the
credit
hell
to
this fucking
my console
conversation
roots.
came from.
I'll give
never-
credit to
You would never
Nintendo.
give PC credit.
I'll give credit to Nintendo. I'll give credit to PlayStation, and that's what got me to Xbox. The PC, like, I'm sorry, sure, you guys are getting, like, yeah, you guys have like experienced higher frame rates and all that other stuff, and messing with settings and all that other shit. But at the end of the day, I have no experience doing that exclusively on PC. Like, yes, I'm more tolerable to things because consoles have come closer to PC and whatnot. But bro, like,
and we have to remember, I've said this on multiple podcasts. A lot of these PC dudes do not have high-end systems. That's a very small minority.
Okay,
that's a very small minority, and then the majority of these guys have like 1060s and 1070s.
Exactly. So I want you to read Blessed Red comment.
Crazy rigs.
I want you to read Blessed Red comment because, you see how you have an Xbox and you're an Xbox guy, right?
Yep.
You say the best bot and everything. Remember, the name of that console was Direct Xbox and Direct X, or we all know where that started. All of that shit. I just think as an Xbox dude, you should be more respectful of PC as well.
Oh no!
That's what Microsoft
No.
You can
Let me tell you a story. Now, here we're going. Here we going. No, do you know why
is this a conversation? Right
that? Yeah, why is it? Because because PC guys. No. This is a conversation.
I'm gonna tell you.
That's what I'm saying.
Yo,
I want you to appreciate that.
here's the thing. I'm surprised that you. Because during our Facebook days, Facebook group, this is before I was on Twitter, right? This is what got me into the stupid ass debate with Blockbuster Critic, right?
Bang, bang, bang.
My argument was I thought that Xbox players and PC players should be more so closer instead of PC dudes always going at Xbox. I was like, yo, it's like they're the closest of the two. I don't understand what the beef is. And, people looked at me like I had 2 to 3 heads. And ever since then, the PC guys want to roll with those PlayStation guys. So I was like, you know what? F them. F them. And so ever since then, I have never wanted to associate Xbox with PC guys because, you guys were too good. Yeah, and right now, and Xbox is, in my opinion, is far better than playing on the PC.
You know what? I can respect that. That's a crazy thing. I definitely can respect that. Notice I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But it's crazy to see how far the consoles has come. Like they basically, like last gen, we saying the consoles are basically custom PCs, and look, they still are SSD. Fucking 120 hertz now.
Yeah, they're real custom.
They have settings. They basically like custom PCs. It's like it's crazy to see how console gamers will literally shun PC but will play on a console, which is basically a child of PC, and not give it.
Yeah, because you can't build a PC as powerful as PS5 and Xbox Series X for $500. The value is there
for $4,500.
The price. No, I don't mean like price. I mean like it's cool to see them do the things they do now, ray tracing and
yeah.
Like all that, like, isn't it crazy how just a few years ago, like, it used to have like console gamers versus PC gamers, like, oh, we got the 20 hertz and we could play at 120, y'all stuck at 1080p, 30 frames, and now look, now you have consoles. That's doing that.
I don't get why.
That's what I'm saying. Like, isn't that crazy to see how far?
What's the point of this whole
I'm actually, isn't it crazy to see how far the consoles have come?
It's technology. Look at it. Look at fucking Atari, dude. Everything advances.
I'm specifically talking about.
Cars have advanced. Fucking buildings have advanced. Coffee machines have advanced. Everything advances. I don't. Why are we on this?
Did we mute him or he muted himself?
So dumb.
A
coffee machine is a PC.
Sorry. Yeah, I mean, this shit's always going to advance.
But yeah,
advance.
Why your chat
my coffee machine runs off of a program.
I don't know, but we do.
Why your chat love this to me, bro? They forgot I'm sweating. Me and you cool. They forgot me and you cool, bro. You see, I'm not stirring no fire. I'm not dissing Xbox. Why are they coming at me like that?
You good?
I don't even know what's going on.
My time.
What's going on?
Pointless. There was no point to this.
No, because you see how you said technology has come far. Like it's cool.
Well, that's just a common.
It's just technology, though.
Like
that's not like a new thing.
No, like relax, right?
Where are we on?
I'm saying that's cool to see the consoles do the things that PC do now, right? Like
awesome.
the gap is kind of bridged.
Wait, you want to go backwards?
No, I'm saying.
Why
are you so hyped? Relax, first of all.
No, because this is a pointless conversation.
Why are you so hyped?
You are like, oh my god, technology is advanced. Isn't that a crazy thing? I don't get what your point is.
I'm saying it's cool, right? That's what I'm
yes.
All right.
It's not. It's going to advance. It's not going to go backward.
Boy, calm yourself
Oh
down.
shit, I'm getting murked and shit. Like y'all.
I just don't. This is a whole. This whole conversation has been fucking pointless. That's why I'm like I don't get it.
So you getting
Alright,
hyped for that?
Can we go to something next?
What's the next topic? What's the next
Yeah,
topic?
Something next.
Copeboy, yeah,
Next,
run it through because
please.
we are pushing past time.
You
though.
mentioned Battlefield 5 and 7, so what's the resolution for them?
Cold boy, what's the next
Because I
topic?
Oh yeah. The next topic, we got 44% of developers said that their games have been delayed because of the pandemic. This is from a GDC survey that showed the impact of COVID-19 on games. So
We can skip that one.
You said that. a
Yeah,
couple months ago.
that's not surprising.
We
I
can
mean,
skip
So
that
we
one
all
because-
said that. Like,
Yeah,
Go to the we got the.
I mean,
go ahead.
go ahead. No, I was gonna say, I was like, yeah, because there was I'm not sure. To me, like, I don't know if Halo would have still been delayed or not, from what they showed. But we know that was supposed to be obviously at launch for the Series X, and
Yeah.
there was supposed to be a couple more games at launch for the PS5. Like Deathloop was set for launch, and certain they got delayed multiple times or whatever. So it's like, yeah, so it's like we're seeing the effects this year, and hopefully by next year, all of these development teams and devs or whatever have some type of either COVID is not as rampant, so people can work comfortably around other people again, or they found ways to really work from home and still get everything done on time and whatnot. So yeah, it sucks. We're gonna get more delays, but there's a lot of games coming out regardless.
Yeah.
So
Even with the delays and stuff, there's
What's
yeah,
your most
so many
anticipated game?
games.
What's your most anticipated game for this year?
I haven't
mine
seen
would
it yet.
be that the Necromunda. Like,
You think you're most wait, oh man, you're
hyped
most
for that
anticipated? I'm hyped for the game, but most anticipated?
I mean, I would have thought you would say Halo Infinite or some shit.
I mean,
like
don't
that.
get me wrong.
Halo
I'm
Infinite's a
about
given
Halo.
for sure. Like, but
But
I'm
that
just
Necromunda game is.
I'm not even sure
About.
Ragnarok is still coming out this year.
That's
They
not-
said
that's not-
2021.
that's
I
not
don't
coming out
know.
this year.
That would have been
I
my most.
want to ask you
me-
something. I want to ask
I
you
was gonna
something
say
after that.
for me, it's between Ratchet and Clank and maybe Horizon. Probably more so
Pokemon remake. No, I'm stop.
probably more so Ratchet because it's closer and we have a release date and we've seen gameplay. But yeah, I would for as of now, unless Final Fantasy if Final Fantasy 16 come this year, that's like my most anticipated
I
game.
doubt it.
I thought it was coming. I thought it was coming this year as well. But I'm just saying, it's like as for what we know, because I think there's still big games that are still coming this year that we don't even know about. Like there's rumors that Starfield could still come out this year and whatnot. So, but as of right now, I definitely say Ratchet because that's the closest one.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what all gets announced at E3 because a lot of stuff might change.
That stuff might change. Right now, it's Halo for me. What's up?
Yo, Smooth. Last year, right?
Yeah.
Xbox had a showcase towards the end of the year, right?
Yep.
And they had this game. It's like robots and dinosaurs and shit. What's the name of that game?
Exo Mecha?
Is that it?
Yeah.
It had dinosaurs and shit.
free
in it,
to play game.
Or are you thinking of Second Station?
I don't know what's the name of it, bro, but it was actually really cool, bro. That's one of the games I was like, Xbox. That's actually a really cool looking game. Like I liked that I saw. Like I need to know the name of that game.
Are you talking about the game where they were going? They had these big ass mechs and they were shiny. The guns and stuff were shiny. They were on like a beach and
Yeah.
that's Exo Mecha.
That's Exo Mecha. Yeah.
Exo Mecha's the name.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I've been wanting to know, because I actually like the way it looks.
Yep.
I think that's a free to play game too, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that.
See,
that
because
game,
it's free to play, I have my interest in it is not that big at all. For some free to play
Have you
games
seen
and me
the
just
gameplay of it. The gameplay looks sick.
the gameplay looks sick, but the thing is, when just knowing that it's a free to play, I don't like. It's something about the word free to play. I just don't think it's gonna be like that great.
I mean,
I know what you mean, Smooth.
I mean, if we're gonna throw that card, I mean, technically, Halo's multiplayer is gonna be free to play.
But it's Halo. I know what Halo
But
is.
It's a AAA budget though.
But Halo is proven though, so that's the
Just
thing.
like Call
That's
of Duty's
why.
proven. Like
That's
it
all.
once Call of Duty, it wasn't always
Right.
free to play, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah,
But
like Warzone, shit like that.
Warzone, because that's but that's like the one mode, the battle royale, right?
Yeah,
now I
it's
get
the one mode.
I get what Smooth's saying because it's like the free to play games, like, yeah, it's cool that they're free to play, but to me, they always lack, like, I don't know, they always lack something because it's like it's not a game that you're being charged for. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Usually,
It always seems to lack something that like keeps me like engaged with these
You
free
mean
to
like
play games.
that it factor, like Halo made you, Gears made
Yeah,
you.
it's. Yeah, like, you know, if like I'm paying for it, like, yeah, like if I'm paying for Gears,
Like it's a reason why.
Like I feel like I get like a complete, you know, experience or whatever, like an experience. And then with free to play, I feel like there's cutbacks and compromises because it's free to play. If that makes
and
sense.
usually you
No,
get
it's
like
like-
microtransactions galore.
Yeah.
usually.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
absolutely.
to pay for.
Let me
But
read
it's like
this.
free to play titles usually have like an abundance of content and like updates as well that keeps them like allegedly that keeps you like
Alive, yeah.
invested in them. Yeah, like look at Warframe and its whole timeline. It's just like they've steadily built and gave people constant content. Like it was, yeah.
Shout out to It's
and a lot of paywalls.
Right, and I enjoyed, and I really like the Warframe. But one of my issues with the game, because it's free to play, the grinding is going to take
the
so
grinding.
much time unless you pay money, right?
Yep. Paywalls.
Crafting.
Yeah.
Like if you're just in the free to play, right? You're not paying for anything. If you're crafting a new sword, which takes forever to get the materials, but if you're crafting them, they'll say it'll tell you it's take 48 hours to craft this item, and that's literally a literal 48 hours.
Yeah.
And you know,
yeah,
so
like this should be crazy.
you
Season
pay-
passes.
unless you pay for it to speed
Yeah.
up. So
No, any of y'all play Returnal yet?
Yeah, we did already discuss that at the start of the show.
we already talked about it.
I got some bills to pay though. Big, he corrected his name for me for $5. Big Alabassa, Big Alabassa, Big Alabassa, Big Alabassa. Okay, that's how he says his name, or she. I don't. My bad. It's my easy. He says Series X graphics card is as much powerful than it is much powerful than a RTX 2080, and you can Google it. I have both Series X and RTX 2080 Ti, and the Series X value is insane. I don't think they consider the Series X a graphics card. It's like a APU or.
Bro, what the fuck you just said? Okay, I'm lost. Sorry.
But I mean, I'm not going to touch on that on which graphics cards to compare it to. It's hard being that it's AMD based. It's hard to try to quantify.
It's not hard.
Yeah, it is because AMD and NVIDIA, like AMD
equivalent,
would turn out like good numbers, but compared to like NVIDIA stuff, it's like it's usually something off. But
You can't really compare a console's graphics card directly to a PC, so that's we can't get into that. Anyways,
and it's
next
game by game basis too, like because you could have a game on the Series X performing at like a 2080 level, but the next game be like a 2060 level or something like that. In comparison, but next topic, man. What's going on with Discord, bro? And we can.
It's coming to PlayStation, I heard.
Yeah, so if y'all remember, well, go ahead, old man, go ahead. You got it.
Oh, I was just saying they're partnering with Sony, right?
Yeah, so y'all remember a month ago there was reports, and this was like
Xbox
official. This was like official reports, right? Of Microsoft. Discord was apparently up for sale, or they're apparently looking to be bought out. Microsoft was one of the primaries, or was like the main primary factor of discussing with them, right? For $10 billion or whatever. A couple weeks later, Discord came out, or the reports came out that Discord dropped everything, that they're not being up for sale. I guess they changed their mind, whatever.
They want to go public,
right? And then 2 weeks later, we get a news that from Jim Ryan from PlayStation. Hey, we're partnering up with Discord, so started in early 2022. There's going to be full Discord integration with the PlayStation consoles, and stuff like that, which I think is cool. And which is like, and here's the thing, it's like, because I know Smooth was like, you guys are hyping up Discord, but when Microsoft was tend to buy them out, he was hyping up Discord. But
I wasn't hyping.
But But
Okay,
Just
but
so-
that was a
I got the
buyout. Like they're
tweet.
completely
I got-
different things.
I got the tweet. I got the tweet.
But my question is,
But
before you bring it up,
but
I got a question for you.
That's not the point. I'm not going to bring it up because that's not the point. What I was going to say is, when Microsoft was rumored to buy Discord, I said that I don't care at all either way. It doesn't affect me as long as they don't change Discord and like mess it up or anything like that. So I was like, and I said, if Discord comes to the Xbox console, that's cool. Discord is a great app or whatever. So nobody can sit here and say, well, yeah, I flip flop. No, like everybody loves Discord. Like nobody.
It kind of is on Xbox, just unofficially. Like it's on Xbox. Yeah.
What were you gonna say,
already.
Smooth? You're gonna ask something.
Yeah, I was going to ask about the integration. Is it like full integration where Discord is going to be the audio solution for PlayStation, the communication solution? Because Xbox
We
has
don't know yet.
Because Xbox has an integration with Discord 3 years ago, and it's been integrated, but it not to the point where it's the communication.
According to the article, it's going to be a full integration of Discord. So I'm going to be able to.
PlayStation's voice chat is garbage.
No, it's not.
No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is.
Bro. I can't even say
No,
that.
it's not.
I
Yes,
can't
it
agree.
is.
At one point, I would agree.
Yes,
but
it is.
it's not.
Why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Their voice over IP solution is inferior to Xbox's voice over IP
Okay,
solution.
what is their voice over IP solution?
Some garbage use. First of all, the voice
Okay,
quality
exactly.
inside
You can't-
PlayStation shit garbage, right?
You can't explain. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, because I've been on PlayStation trying to have chats.
So you
like,
guys like PlayStation chat more than Xbox Live chat.
No, bro, they're really identical, bro. Hey, stop that, bro.
You said it's like-
No, they're not. I'm not sure of the
Bro, they got
quality.
some good quality, bro.
I've been
It's
inside the
same.
PlayStation chat before when Destruction All Stars. I was in the chat with Neo and J Dub and stuff, and they were trying to. I do recall it being a pain in the ass to get 3 people in the same party. So I don't know if
It's so
16
easy.
it's not.
You don't create party and then you invite your friends and it's right there.
Okay, it wasn't that simple. I
Like,
recall.
come on, man.
I'm
Like, I
pretty
know
sure
y'all
they
buy
updated it
it
since
for
then.
PlayStation,
No,
but
not
stop
that.
the The voice chat is not garbage. Anybody tells you that it's straight.
So why they getting
capping,
Discord?
right? It's not fucking garbage. They got rid of the communities, and then now they're coming with Discord. Which Discord is obviously better. It's going to be better, but Discord is better than Xbox Live as well. So it's like
Yes, it is.
we know
it
that.
is.
So
Discord. I'm on record as saying Discord is the best voice over IP solution on the internet. Period.
Exactly. That's why
Probably
PlayStation is
fucking
partnering with
heavily.
them. That's why Microsoft wanted to buy them.
So my hype, what they calling it, when the Xbox was close to buying them, the only thing I said, the first order of business, if I'm Xbox and I'm buying Discord, the first order of business is to replace Xbox Live Party Chat with Discord, open the communication channels, obviously, so now anybody with access to Discord, we can communicate with people on PC, on Xbox. It just becomes, it's the better audio solution or communication solution. That's why, and I said give a Discord Nitro free with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. I don't know how that's hype. That was just me trying to think like a businessman or whatever. But people magnify that as me being hype. I just thought it was a logical action to take if you're going to buy Discord. But
Well, you would be correct because that's actually would make a lot of sense. I just want to know if Discord's replacing the communities apps because for Discord you can do the cross chat, cross party, and all that shit with Xbox, PC. I think that's like a step in the right direction where everybody can have it.
every platform, if Discord want to go public, they're going to turn out $10 billion like a dumbass. You better win and you better make more than $10 billion. If you're going to go public, then you should put Discord. Discord should be integrated on many platforms as possible that you can get it integrated on, whether it be
especially
Xbox,
for
Nintendo,
crossplay,
PlayStation, PC. That would be a dub for Discord. But if you're going to turn out $10 billion just to partner up with a company for less. It doesn't cost $10 billion or more than $10 billion to integrate Discord on PlayStation. I highly doubt they're getting anywhere near that much. I understand not being sold, but if it's not a move I would make like this or that. I would turn down $10 billion and then put my stuff on everything I can get it on and go public and try to make as much money as I can. Possibly that way. I wouldn't turn out $10 billion and be bought out and just only work to put my services on PlayStation and have it on PlayStation and PC and stay status quo. I think that's just
not what they're
dumb.
gonna do. They're gonna put it everywhere, bro.
Sony does those. They only want to benefit themselves if they don't see a deal.
Yeah, that's how they're treating games.
I was just like, if we wanted to segue to, I think the topic of with the Fortnite crossplay.
Yeah. Can somebody
Perfect segue right there.
bank me into this because I know a lot of this stuff is coming out of this Epic versus
I don't even know why
Apple.
people even care.
They
Go
say
ahead.
Epic has to pay Sony for crossplay. That's what I heard.
And like, who gives a fuck? It's not our money. Like,
Thank
that's what-
you.
like,
Exactly.
it's like who? Like,
Okay,
who
so
gives
the
a-
thing.
Hold on. But who? Like, if
Thank you.
that's a
Thank
dealing
you.
with Sony and Epic, and Epic was willing to do that, that's business dealing with Sony. Sony is a business. They're not a company of moral, right?
But-
we got to
but-
stop acting like
know that they
like
were willing?
No.
like-
The reason why it's kind of a big thing is because the only reason that crossplay between all consoles right now is even existing is because Sony was basically being a dick about it to Epic, saying what is, we don't see doing crossplay as beneficial to our platform versus Microsoft and Nintendo were both on board with it. Crossplay, everybody can play together.
And
They
then
weren't being stingy about it, but Sony was the only one that came out there and said, nope, it doesn't benefit us. We don't want to do it. And then Epic's like, well, we don't see a place where we don't.
But
let
then,
me finish,
what
Chris.
happened?
And then,
I didn't say nothing.
then Sony, Epic ended up having to pay Sony to be able to get cross-platform play to work for Fortnite. And then they came out and said, hey, we're going to make you guys, Sony, look like the God Almighty of people. We're going to announce it at E3. We're going to say this was, only made possible because of Sony and this and that, and try to make them look out to be heroes when really behind the scenes they were being the biggest dicks to the whole entire gaming world.
So I wonder if Activision.
Okay,
had to pay
hold on.
Sony.
Let me say
that's
something.
what I'm
Let me say
going
something.
from. They wanted to be stingy.
Okay, so they changed it. So there's crossplay now, so nobody can complain, right? So
Right.
So irrelevant news of the past. Also,
It's the story of how it got there.
But yeah,
okay,
listen,
but-
wait,
but-
stop,
but-
they
stop.
came out-
They're
they
not
came out to
questioning-
make-
They're
Hold
not.
on, but
They're
listen,
not questioning.
we're
the
here
end
now.
goal, but
I
it's
know,
the
but
process.
we're here now, and we have it. If Epic,
Yep.
if that's what the requirement for Sony Epic, it didn't come out of our pocket. We still got crossplay. It doesn't matter
We
the
shouldn't
back
give a
dealings
fuck.
with
Right.
Epic and Sony. Like if Epic agreed to it, then that's on Epic. But guess what? Epic got that money back because Sony, they invested like what, over $500 million back into Epic.
Almost.
You know what I mean? They gave them more money back than what Epic paid them for the crossplay.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like, to me, it's like, okay, yeah, the whole crossplay thing, right? And I was with gamers back then. I said, yo, Sony should allow crossplay because that's what people want. Cool. They weren't doing it at first. They were playing hard-headed, but they ended up getting it. Now we're at the point.
But the only reason that they did
we have
it, though,
crossplay.
It don't matter.
But it doesn't
not-
matter. But it got
It
done.
don't matter,
It
bro.
doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. It got done. Like, at this point, who cares? Because what's done is done. It didn't affect
but it's-
us.
Bro,
Like,
you
it
just
doesn't.
wanna
Like,
make
it
Sony
doesn't.
look
Like,
bad,
I don't.
bro.
But hold
understand.
on, I get what Chris is saying.
You
But
don't, bro.
when we question, hold up, calm down. Like when we question every other company's or like person's methods to get the end results, it doesn't change just because this is gaming. And I think that's why they brought it up. Like it's just the question, like the methods to which we got to this point, in which
But
it
look-
shouldn't have never went that way. But
Why
I mean, that's just the way that Sony handled it, unfortunately. So that's just what it is. It's already done. Yeah, we get that. But it's people questioning how they did it. And we question companies all the time about how they get something done, or we question certain people on how they handle situations in which they got to the ending results that they get to. So it's okay for people to question, to bring this up once again, because it's what we do with every fucking thing else. Like we did it with the Justice League movie, with the way that they handled Cyborg. We do it all the time. It's just how we are. It's just how things are.
It's not even a point that people are questioning it. It's to the point where it's like, who
Complaining.
gives a fuck?
Yeah,
I mean,
but
that's
the
what-
thing
that's
is,
what-
I mean, about it,
you
which-
can go about that about with
and so, and I'm not
anything,
saying that. Hold on, and I'm saying that to to be malicious or dick to anybody or anything like that. I'm just saying that it's business. Companies are going to do things to benefit them. Obviously, Sony does things to benefit them, but then they put it back into the platform or whatever, right? Y'all might not like some of the things they do. That's fine. Don't buy a play. I don't care. Like, But it's this thing like Microsoft. I'm sure Microsoft done shit like similar shit like this in the past as well. So
But
it's
if
like
they did do it, people would be questioning
of
it.
course,
And actually,
yeah, of course,
they should be
and
like,
I
what
would
the
be saying the
fuck? Why
same
did
thing.
they do
Who
that?
cares? I would be like,
Question. I'm glad you said that because remember that Final Fantasy 14 thing with crossplay. The reason why Sony initially said no is because Microsoft said no. But I get their reasonings. But remember, they did that same shit. Sony did it. It don't matter now. We got it. Like, look, Microsoft and Nintendo teamed up to survive together. They went on a campaign. Literally had the shit on the news. Had Sony looking like the bad guy. All that marketing they did, and then they got it.
All right,
Then
we're gonna
what?
have to pull out soon. I know that didn't sound right, but because this is getting late and these conversations are going in circles.
Say pause.
and a lot of games still don't have crossplay, so we still don't.
Question.
You know what I mean?
Because nobody wants to play
Y'all
Sony
think-
for it.
Y'all think Activision plays Sony because Call of Duty has crossplay? I want to ask y'all, do y'all really think Activision?
Maybe I don't know. They have third party marketing deals with Sony.
Yeah,
So
like
Sony
they got
probably-
the marketing deal.
Sony
So did
probably
Fortnite.
made
So did
calculations
Fortnite.
and told Activision, "Hey, you want crossplay? You got to pay for some of these things. You know, you got to pay." It's just
But
like
also
that's
got a
what
marketing
they do.
deal.
Listen, the CEO Bobby Kotick, he's a very crafty businessman. That's all I'm gonna say about him. Look up his history in terms of bonuses, laying off multiple hundreds and thousands of employees from Activision, and the profits he puts in his pocket. Trust me. If he's paying anything for crossplay, it's minimal.
All right, let's take care of this super chat.
It was nice talking with y'all, bro. It's been a
Bro,
while.
you can't be doing this stuff for real.
What I can't be doing? Just popping up.
Just
out of
popping
nowhere?
up in here and prolonging the podcast 30 minutes, bro. I
keep
appreciate
only
you for
10.
sure. Nah, B, it was longer than that. Balarasa says, "I'm a dude, my boy, rocking the Xbox since 2001." Facts, yeah, that was a lot longer than me. Slow Down says, "When Sony's slogan is for the players and they deny what their players want until it benefits them, that seems like a problem to me." Anybody care to tackle that?
No,
it
is
no,
what it is. We
what did they
tackled
deny?
it. We tackled it
he
already.
tackled
What
it.
they're doing shit, but here's the thing: it's like y'all gotta stop trying to act like these companies are like all these companies, they want money, right? They're gonna tell even Microsoft. Like I was watching a video the other day. I forgot. Was it from Gaming Bolt or somebody like that? It was a very well video talking about is Sony for the players again or whatever, right? And it touched on this topic, this particular topic. I'll link it in the video afterwards, but he mentions Microsoft, he mentions Sony's or whatever, right? And how they talk in PR and how they would tell people what sounds good, but it's all for their own benefits and self-interest. And that's every company. Like this is why it's like
that.
when people, even Microsoft will tell you everything you need to hear, and it sounds like, oh my God, it's so for
Like
the
they
players
do
and
now.
for consumers, but it's specifically for their games. It's specifically for their games, and they're gonna tell you what you want to hear. And sometimes they'll do stuff that it benefits us players, but it's all for their game. Every single one of these companies do things for their own game,
Of
their own
course, it's about
businesses and shit like that.
Look, the point-
Stop having such a moral type of standard for these companies. It's never gonna be like that, bro. It's like
The point
oh
is-
my
the
God,
point
it's wrong
is-
if they do this. Go ahead.
The point is to keep giving passes, and I mean, just because it's a corporation, yeah, we know what they're for, profits and all of that bullshit. But still, there are just certain ways that you're supposed to handle things, all right? That are proper ways. And so when we question and we question folks and like this whole celebrity shit and all of that all the time, these corporations are no different. I'm not gonna treat them any different. Like you do something that's fucking like really weird, or like you skipping steps, or you doing whatever. Like I'm gonna question that as a consumer. Like
As
I
a
don't
consumer
know what every
who owns
company-
the platform, or who doesn't own the platform.
It doesn't matter. Do I own a fucking director? Do I own a writer? No.
It's not.
But
No,
if
you're
they do
comparing
something-
two different things.
No,
Celebrities
but
and
still, we
corporations.
still question these things all the time, and entertainment or not. Like we question these things all the time. We question how people handle their processes on the to get to the end of a movie, to get to the end of an album. How they handle the remasters, how they handle the person's masters, how they handle the fucking the dudes writing the story, how did they treat them? We always question all of these things, but it somehow gets swept under the rug when it comes to gaming or like these big companies, like you can't keep giving them a pass just cause.
But what
That's
did we
all
give
I'm
a pass
saying.
to?
What's getting a
given to?
pass? What's the pass? What's the pass?
Just giving a pass like saying sweeping it under the rug or to overlook it just cause.
But
Just
what
cause
did
that's
they?
how it's
People
always gonna
complain.
be.
But
just
okay,
how
I
this
can
is
give
like
you.
this is like
I
the
can
thing-
give you an.
this
I
is-
can give you an example.
Hold on. Let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this.
You guys are giving it. You guys want an example.
Hold on.
You got-
People didn't.
Can I give you an
people didn't-
example? I haven't talked.
People,
Yes, bro,
people
Joe,
didn't
Jay,
give.
let Jay
People
go,
didn't
let Jay.
give PlayStation a pass for crossplay, and guess what? That shit got changed.
No, I'm just saying
People
on
didn't
this
give
And it was
PlayStation
PlayStation
a pass
dudes who caused
I'm
for
not
shutting down the
saying-
PS3 and the Vita store. Guess what? Shit got changed. People didn't give pass to Microsoft.
Yeah, I
and the double
understand.
Xbox Live.
What are you going on about? We're talking about this situation
what
in the
pass are you
process of
talking
how
about?
we
Like
got
you're
here.
saying, you're saying it's like
It
we
don't
should
matter how
care
we got
that
here.
Epic Games pays Sony for crossplay, and we shouldn't give them a pass, even though them paying for crossplay didn't affect us because we still got crossplay at no extra cost for us. I don't understand. I don't understand.
You're misunderstanding and you're just mishearing me all over the fucking place.
No,
the
Swans,
point
it look like you
is
just complaining,
that
bro.
we question the process with everything else. We do.
No,
Like, you
don't
can't
say
sit
we,
here
because
and
I
that we
don't.
But
Well,
And
that's you then.
then
Swans,
here's
they
the
did.
That's
thing.
you then.
And
But I'm
then
always going to, as a
if I don't
consumer of
question it,
anything-
and if I don't care, it's you're just giving it a pass.
Yeah, that's
You
fine
should-
for you
yeah,
not to
you
care.
should,
Like,
you should
that's
question it
great.
because
but for me as a consumer,
I question it.
like I
like,
look up
I don't care.
when
It
movies
doesn't-
are
it
being
doesn't
made, how they're
affect me.
being made, how
But
music
wait,
is being
Chris,
made, and all of this
Chris,
stuff
let me
because I
respond,
care
bro.
about it. So,
But
so
Swan.
just like the way they handled Aaliyah's masters and DMX's masters and shit like that, I question that process because it
that's
was
something
fucked up.
different.
Like that's just me
but
being a
Swans, the
consumer.
reason why
But
crossplay
what
became a thing
is
is
Sony doing?
PlayStation
Okay,
dudes-
go ahead.
because
Go ahead.
PlayStation dudes couldn't access their Fortnite shit on their Switch. That's how it originally started. Remember, it was PlayStation dudes complaining about how when Fortnite was announced for Switch, they couldn't log into the carry the games over.
People
Remember,
were
the cross-
complaining. They didn't give them a
And that was
pass.
PlayStation dudes who caused that. That wasn't Xbox. That was PlayStation dudes complaining to Sony. So you can't say they gave them a pass because it was their own community. that was
No,
doing
I'm
it.
saying just in general when you overlook things like people
They
give
did
passes
overlook.
and
They
they think that
complained
it's
to
still
everything.
okay to do. Hold up,
Bro,
I know
they
that's what I'm saying.
complained,
Like it
though.
applies to a lot of this shit. So it's like that's when these companies feel like they can just
Do whatever.
go ahead and keep doing it. Yeah, but when it's not checked, when it's not questioned, checks and balances, shit like that.
I get you. I get what you're saying. Like the gamer has to, even though the company is like, don't feel that you can do whatever you want. Like we're gonna say something about. Okay, I get what you're saying, right? But yeah,
Yeah, that's
remember,
all I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying to go over there with like fucking pitchforks and torches and be like, yeah, we about to
Shit.
fuck your shit up.
Shit,
I'm
I would
just
do
saying,
that.
like, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and there's certain things that we gotta speak. Like, what was it? What you call it? Like Sony wasn't allowing crossplay. People were mad about that. Because Nintendo was doing that, Xbox was doing that, PC was doing that. Sony was the only one not playing ball. People complained about that. Right?
Sony was doing crossplay. With
It got
PC.
changed, regardless of how it got changed. It got changed for us for the
Yeah,
consumer.
of course. Benefits us, yeah.
Right now we benefit. Right. What I'm saying is like there's certain things that we definitely need to complain about and voice our opinions. There's
Smooth,
other
you there
things.
still?
There's other things that's really not. a
Yeah,
big
I'm
deal,
here.
and
Just waiting for you guys to like kind of.
whatever.
Go ahead,
My
my
bad.
bad.
And whatever business dealings that, however it
Yeah, my
gets
bad,
made,
Smooth.
or if this, you know what I mean, if this in the contract or whatever. I don't know. It's like there's some things I don't see a big deal about. There's other things that's like, yeah, we definitely need to complain
I can give you
about
an
it. But go
example
ahead.
too about
No, go ahead,
Xbox.
Smooth.
Remember that price hike with Xbox Live? How people complained about that shit?
Yeah, people
That shit
complained.
immediately got changed, right?
Xbox gamers complain, the media complained, and it got
they
changed.
also
yeah.
look. Remember in January, they also in that leaked email, they also said we didn't forget about the free to play, like the wall being dropped for like free to play games. They made mention of that and that leaked email. So they are listening because you complained about it for years. It's not like PlayStation dudes saying this. No, they listen to their own community. Like companies listen, but they're just slow to adopt because all they see is money. So certain things they feel like. And also keep in mind, I think Reggie Fils-Aimé said this. He said, in quote, I think 2016 or 2017, if a company did everything consumer want to do, there would be no company. Every company would go bankrupt. Sometimes you have to make decisions that the consumer might not like to keep yourself afloat.
Oh, yeah.
He said that himself, and that's Nintendo.
All right, I got a super chat to read, and then I kind of want to phase out because it's getting later.
Yep.
Steaded Fox says, just got the Series S, could not find the Series X. My friend wants my older One X. He has a spare side SSD card, so that a even trade, or should I get cash? I'd say no. It's not. All right. So I traded my Xbox One X for an SSD because I didn't need the Xbox One X at all. Like I had a Series X.
Yeah, that's facts.
I wouldn't do that. He only has a Series S though. I would try to get the cash for the One X because you could actually, now that I know, I just had my friend in Boston because I got him a Series X. He just sold his One S for like $200 on Facebook. You can get $200 or $200 plus for your Xbox One X, and if you want, hold out for an SSD or try to get it for sale. I don't know if I'll do it even. I don't know. It's up to you how important that SSD is to you. But I've sold I've sold a ton of consoles. SSD? No, I got my SSD. I'm not gonna sell that. But I'm just saying he's trying to figure out if he should sell his One X because he has a Series S. He wants to know if he should trade his One X for the SSD expansion directly to the person. But I would test, see what you can get for your One X first. If you can't get what you're looking for, if you can't get what you're looking for, then trade it. I would test the market on that one first.
That's some good advice. Yeah, like Smooth said, people say that's dumb. Why would you sell your thing? Because think about it. He has a Series X. He has all of them games still, dummy. So why would he get the console when he get the money
also,
first?
if you gotta think, he might want to keep that though if he has disc copies of games, because he won't be able to play his disc.
But the Series X has
no, he said he had the Series S, right?
The Series.
Smooth. You said you sold your
me
Xbox
personally.
One X.
I sold my One X for actually I pretty much traded for the SSD because I had the Series X and the Series S at the time, so it was like I had no need for it. So.
Right, that's smart. Because with the Series X, you get basically a better experience than the One X anyway. Like it's like extra oomph to what the One X already gave. So yeah, I wouldn't see no problem with selling that. That makes sense to me. Just I would just be smart.
It's just if he has physical copies of games, he won't be able to play it on the S.
Yeah,
he won't.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying. I'm like he might not even want to sell it.
Big Alabasta says Bala Rala. What the F? Laugh my ass. He must. My bad. Big Alabasta. All right, guys. We need to roll this out.
Yeah.
A lot longer than I wanted to.
Smooth. When do you go live so I can be part of the podcast?
Bruh.
I'm not starting no trouble. Just when you go live.
Bro.
So I used to support you more. I don't want you to think I'm just moderating your channel. I just show up whenever. Like I don't want you to think I'll still fuck with you.
Are you talking about like live in the chat?
Yeah, they know like right now how I'm on the Discord and shit. Like when do you do these podcasts? Because remember, you used to have a schedule, and now you pretty much go. Live
I do every Wednesday, but it's not an open podcast. There's a panel. It's not like that's open for everyone to jump in.
For this part, I've been around for a while, for your channel. So, like, can I be part of the panel? And if I can't make it, I'll just let you know.
Absolutely not. I mean, no offense, Mario. If it's like it's a regular chat that I'm doing on live or something like that's fine. Jump in and whatnot. But with the podcast, I try to have organized. Like this. If you want to come in, give me a heads up like days before. This podcast is every Wednesday. I'm not going to have you on every Wednesday, right? And I hate to be doing this on live, but I'm not going to have you on every Wednesday. Hit me up like, hey, and we typically at some point each week, there's usually missing somebody, right? Like, because NickBanks ain't in here right now. I'm like, all right, yeah, I could use a fill-in or something like that. Yeah, absolutely. But I can't do these mid jumps because it annoys me.
No,
honestly.
I mean I'll let you know ahead and then I'll be on from the
if
start.
you let me know ahead and whatnot, I'm like, all right, cool. We go live between 8 and 8:30 every Wednesday. If you give me a heads up, I'll send you an invite myself or something like that. But like these podcast drops, like the whole bond drop-ins, that is probably my biggest pet peeve. So that's why if I'm coming off a little bit hostile or annoyed, it's just because it's it's a pet peeve.
Keep in mind, don't ever apologize for the way you speak. Bro, this is your channel. Don't ever say that if you're coming off like I have thick skin. You're not coming off hostile. You're just telling me what it is. No, I'm not soft like the rest of the people, you know me. But yeah, thank you for that. Because I just wanted to know, because know, I kind of disrespectful to just pop up and just speak. So my bad if I came off hostile to anybody. Like you thought I was.
No, I don't think you came off hostile. I just was not expecting you.
No, the PC
See, that was
talk.
disrespectful,
For the rest of them, like old man Logan, like he was a little frustrated on the topic. That wasn't my intention, fuck up the flow of the podcast. I just wanted to really talk because I haven't talked to you like y'all in a while.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
All right, cool.
But yeah, man, I do appreciate, everybody coming through tonight. Just over 100 people came through. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you haven't. Tomorrow's my birthday. I don't know if I typically do a birthday stream. I probably won't.
Hey man, enjoy.
But I will be
gaming. I ain't forget,
Happy
bro. I
birthday,
remember my son
birthday.
Smooth a tourist.
Yes,
Smooth,
man.
you need to hurry
remember.
up and find and get a PS5 because I cannot
I need
wait.
one too. Like,
I cannot wait to see that Returnal challenge, bro. I cannot wait to see.
Oh yeah, no. Even if
I
I can't find one,
Yeah, he's doing it.
I'm gonna do a
Oh,
Returnal
you're
challenge.
doing
If
it?
anything,
Yeah.
what's gonna happen if I don't get a PlayStation by June? I'm gonna pay Addict to ship me back the PS5 so I can play Ratchet and do the Returnal challenge, and then once I'm done with that, I'll send it back to him. So
You send it
Oh,
back.
okay.
yeah.
the other challenge people wanted you to do.
So
No, I think the Returnal one is gonna be real because Returnal is fucking hard.
I
That
don't
shit
even
ain't
have
an
this
easy
shit.
ass game, bro. So expect a lot of this game sucks. PlayStation sucks. This game sucks.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
Smooth. You might
hilarious,
rage a
dog.
bit. Like I've seen
No,
people
it's gonna
play
be
it,
funny, dog. It's gonna be funny.
but you're gonna have fun, bro. I think every time Smooth play a PlayStation game, I know he get more excited than when he play Xbox online.
He gets the
I don't
most
care what
views,
you say,
too.
bro. Smooth, you be more happy when you play a PlayStation game. I don't care what
I am
you
not.
say.
I
got proof. No. I got proof.
No,
Bro,
I get
Bloodborne,
happy when I
he's
beat a
raging.
game that people say I can't beat, especially when there's
Yeah.
money on the line.
Yeah,
So
that's different.
I don't care what platform it is. Like people, I'll admit this. Yeah, more people show up to watch me play PlayStation games, but that's just like I don't enjoy. Like I don't prefer to play them. People will show up more, but they do that to Bond as well. When Bond plays a PlayStation game, more people will show up. Anytime an Xbox dude or any dude is playing a PlayStation game, they do show up and support and watch.
Yeah,
So
Cause nigga, we actually like you. Unlike
No,
other
because you
Xbox
get
dudes.
major views with
No,
that
be honest
shit.
with you, bro.
What?
You can see, be honest with you. I don't know if Smooth listen to PlayStation guys.
all right, it's 10:59. I'm gonna hit the stop button. I need to go, and I'm about
That's
to start.
11, bro.
Yeah, man. Like I gotta
Yeah,
get the
no,
fuck
that's
out
what
of
he's
here.
saying. You gotta look.
Yeah, it's
Now
11,
listen,
bro.
like,
We
hey,
are-
shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the chat. The only thing we didn't touch upon is apparently, and we don't gotta talk about it, but apparently there was an email between between Sweeney and Phil Spencer.
I mentioned that already.
And last year, Phil Spencer said that he was still looking to put an xCloud on other
All the
consoles,
consoles.
or he hasn't given up trying.
Yeah, he's given up. It'll be on Nintendo. PlayStation's not happening. So just to answer
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The only reason, the
completely
reason why
got that.
PlayStation's not happening is because PlayStation is not gonna let it happen.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's their
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly
Shit,
think
like,
all right,
everybody
end the
keep
podcast,
hoping for that shit, but
be
it's
honest
not
with y'all.
gonna happen.
I think the only way Sony will do that is if Xbox stop making consoles. I think that's the
No,
only
they're not
way.
gonna do that because they have their own streaming service. They don't. They wouldn't want xCloud or anything like that on the.
All right, guys. I'm starting a Twitter space for people asking questions about FPS boosts and like monitor stuff like that. So anybody have any questions about that, join there. I'm ending the podcast. Shout out to Old Man Logan. Shout out to Swans. Shout out to Spartan God, Chris Righteous, and the
What kind of
podcast that
shout
you
out?
got tomorrow. Dopest J, NickBanks, everyone. We appreciate you guys. Everybody who super chatted, everybody who didn't super chat, everybody who joined as a member. Remember, the goal is next week I should have Destin, and if I do get Destin, it'll be a whole lot of advertisements, and the format might be a little bit better because I do have a little bit of respect for Destin, so I'll probably clean up the show for that. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys.
for sure.
As always, Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We're out of here. Peace.
Peace, guys.
Peace, y'all.